Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on a rescheduled show. We had some technical difficulties last night. We're just glad you're here now. I am really happy to welcome Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse. Gray, how are you doing, sir?
I'm awesome, thank you, Salty. Delighted to have a rare day off in the week today and be able to join you and Purple on the stream. Thank you.
You're very welcome. In Purple, what did you think of your new deepfakes? How are you doing?
Good evening. Wow, you have outdone yourself, not just with the deepfakes. I'm animated. I absolutely loved that. That was amazing. But the singing ones as well. Well done.
I wanted to cover some of the topics that I don't really cover on the show. Like I don't cover Disney Star Wars because, quite frankly, it's not Star Wars. And I haven't covered the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing because there are other channels that are attorneys, especially Nick Rekieta, who does a fantastic job. And then of course, just looking at Top Gun, we are going to talk about that tonight. I haven't seen it yet though, but I do want to talk about some of the spin that went out on this movie to attack movies that do not follow, air quotes, the narrative. So let's take a look at who we've got here. We have Al Dan, who liked the deepfakes. We have Gray, of course. Oh, look, Zaxx is coming in. Zaxx, you might want to change your logo, brother. But yeah, he has my login, some inside baseball. Hail to you, the comic relief crusader. Hail to the warmest member of my chat, as well as the most positive commenter on every video I ever make. That would be Rosie Gamgee. Hail to you. We have Dave Bob in the chat as well. How you doing? We have Brian's Gate. And this was an interesting comment. He says, I'm going to have to explain how Depp won when both of them were guilty of defamation. You know, Brian's Gate, I think the win in this is having every single charge of defamation that resulted in Johnny being the only one that suffered, I would say, significant career damage to what he's been doing. And not only that, but his reputation. To me, I consider this a win. Now, did anybody really win in this? That's a question. I don't know. But at the same point, Hollywood did a really good job of running with a lot of narratives. And the Believe All Women one with an asterisk behind it was one of them. And in this case, I think you should consider anyone innocent until proven guilty, regardless of their gender. So that's kind of where I'm going with it, Brian's Gate. But I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't really think Johnny defamed her, but again, I'm not an attorney. Oh, look who we've got here. We've got the one and only Adega Outlaw. I want to shout this man out every chance I can get. He's a really great writer. Adega, I want to buy a hardcover of your book. Purple told me that if I have it sent to you, you'll sign it for me. Hit me in the Twitter DMs because I want to set that up because I'd love to have you sign a book for me. Go check out Adega Outlaw on Amazon now. His book is in hardcover, Evolution. It is a fantastic read. We also have we have Jacob Ironside. Hail to you. Rick Silva is in the house. We have the Untamed Life, otherwise known as the Untamed Mando, who might be stalking me on Twitter, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow, aren't we? And then let's see. We also have my good friend Cajun Corey, because double the Corey, double the fun, let's be honest. And then, of course, there's Zaxx in the chat. And if I have missed you, just use a lot of caps and call me names, and I'll respond to belligerents, right? Hello, Nosferatu the Vampire. You guys are absolutely outstanding. Hail to you, Al Dan. I think we've covered everybody. So we have a lot to cover tonight. I'm going to try and bring what I would say is a more positive spin. There's a lot of really, I don't know. I think a lot of us are kind of feeling what's going on in the world right now. Purple Valkyrie and I talk about it a lot. And there's, I just can't spend an hour talking about something that I don't consider to be Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that anybody shouldn't. Just for me, I am out. I'm really out on Star Wars, and I was out on Star Wars after The Last Jedi, and I'm kind of glad about that. So, but one thing I do want to talk about is Stranger Things. Stranger Things season 4 to me was an incredibly pleasant surprise. Of course, the mainstream media, like you see here, the thing they are going to focus on is apparently we need to worry about what this magnificent show's young stars, what their character sexuality are. Instead of what an absolutely fantastic show this was. Now, I'm not going to read this thing. There are 16 main characters and several new characters in season 4. It is a fast moving, jumping story where the characters are, in fact, separated, but the storylines are interconnected and woven over the first part of the season, which, if I remember, I think is it 7 or 8 episodes in part 1, Gray? Do you remember?
It's 7.
Yeah.
And Salty, I just got to say, it's one of the best shows I've seen since the last Cobra Kai season. I'm going to say that right now, especially the first 4 episodes. They blew my mind.
I absolutely agree. And let's see, Zaxx, if you're more than welcome to take the chat if you want. I want to say hello to Doviende Setovia Sagain. Salty, you clown, you forgot me. I banish you to the pits of wokeness. I have been to the pits of wokeness, Doviende Setovia Sagain. I have no wish to return. Hail to you, my brother, and I caught you. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah. Let me just go through here real quick. So are we getting...
Sorry, is the pit of wokeness, is that where Boba Fett fell? You know, after he was shot accidentally by Han Solo. He fell into the pit of wokeness, didn't he? Is that right?
Yes. Well, so to answer Brian's Gate, we're not going to do spoilers here. I would say maybe just a little... we're not going to do spoilers. So, no. All right. So you got the chat, Zaxx. I will hand it over.
I got it. But aren't we going to talk about who these children would have sex with? We're not talking about that tonight. No.
Well, that's why I got rid of the Variety article. And
good idea.
You know, again, where they go with these narratives. You know, I sat there and watched 7 episodes of television. Now, unlike Disney, these are not half-hour episodes. Some of these were like an hour and 40 minutes for each episode. And there are multiple episodes that are almost like watching a movie. And Gray, was that your experience too, where you look up and you're like, wow, this is long, but not in a bad way. And you realize you still have 40 minutes left of an episode. And it's wonderful to just be completely immersed in what's going on. But at no time did it ever feel slow at all.
No,
Gray,
I know we've got Rick Silver in the chat saying it's kind of boring in his opinion. I tell you what, mate, try watching Kenobi if you want boring. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, nobody is harshing on anybody. You know, it's it's like so many other things. I came into I'm not a subscriber to Netflix. I'm watching it through alternate means. I'm just going to say that. And it doesn't change my opinion of the company. But at the same point, the Duffer Brothers, to me, hit it out of the park. It was one of the cleanest, best stories I've ever seen. And I actually started to care about these characters more than I have since season 1. Just season 2, season 3. But I care about them just as much, if not more, as I did in the very beginning. And that's a major accomplishment, considering it's not the same sort of recycled storyline that they went with for the first 3 episodes. Zaxx, I know that you're on life support over there in Iron Lung, but I mean, what did you think about Stranger Things? Have you seen it yet?
Oh, yeah. I'm just halfway through episode 7, which is the 90-minute episode, which is pretty intense. And I've really enjoyed it. And I wasn't a big fan. I didn't like season 2 really at all. Wasn't a big fan of season 3. And to me, they really pulled it out season 4. And like you said, I care about these characters. And one of them was in severe peril. And I wanted them to pull through. Like I actually was pulling for them, which I haven't done on TV for quite a while, really.
And those of us who have seen it know exactly what you're talking about. And I thought they were gonna get that character. I thought they were gonna take him out right before. Anyway, we won't get into spoilers on this one. We will probably talk spoilers next week. But Purple Valkyrie, we're also trying not to spoil it for you because you haven't seen this.
Yes, I'm still playing catch up at the moment. Getting through season 3, so I was starting season 4 ASAP. But it really did make me smile to see you guys having so much fun with this show. It is so good to hear people praising something for a change.
this, and I keep saying this, we don't want to rage farm. We don't want to hate on everything. We really want to like good things, but we're not just going to like something because we're told to consume it. And maybe it's generational, maybe it's depending on your level of fandom and engagement, maybe that's a variable in it. But Stranger Things was a incredibly well written story, in my opinion. And I know people in chat, again, if you don't like it, that's totally cool. I mean, it really is, but I was blown away. Gray, what was it for you, without using spoilers, that really made this season? Was it the pacing? Was it the music, the characters? What was it that really stuck with you from season 4?
What made it really stand out, Salties, I came to this after watching, was it Moon Knight and that kind of thing, and I watched a little bit of Kenobi and Boba Fett, and then I started watching Stranger Things. I'll give it one episode, see how it goes. 4 episodes later, I'm just like, this is unbelievable. It scuppered my plans to go and watch Top Gun. I was going to go and see Top Gun Maverick, which I can't wait to see, by the way.
I know, me too.
I lost a weekend to it, but yeah, it's great storytelling. It's great plot threads. They've got like multiple plots going on at the same time, and they all make sense, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know it's fantasy, I know it's horror, but man, it just took me, it pulled me right in with really good acting as well.
And the other thing too is it's more like watching a slow burn, long haul horror movie with elements of science fiction in it. And not only that, but there's also thriller in this. It's kind of a wild homage to virtually every horror movie from the 80s and early 90s, as well as kind of maybe the action hero movies of the 80s as well. And that's kind of what for me kind of drove it. There was a little bit in the nostalgia, but I never felt like member berries. I was actually engaged in it. The other thing too is a lot of these characters, it's refreshing not to see a Mary Sue. And the character that was arguably the Mary Sue for the last couple of episodes has none of her powers. And not only that, but is having a very difficult time. They captured the brutality of girls in high school in the 80s perfectly. As someone who went to high school in the 80s, watching all that stuff, it really was like that, guys. For those of you who might not have been there, there was a tremendous amount of cruelty. But
yes, I can imagine. Yes, girls can be quite mean, absolutely. But I love that you guys talk about, they captured the essence of the 80s, but without it being corny. And I'm really impressed with how they did that. I remember the first season, and even down to the way the houses were decorated. It's like, yes, this is the 80s.
Yes. I got real
I remember those
from it. Do you remember E.T.? That was a childhood movie for me, and of course Goonies. But yeah, the little details, like you say, the backgrounds, the music, Salty. We raved about the music, the soundtrack, and the choice of songs during our live stream the other day. But how good were the choices of music, and how much of an important part does music play in the story?
In the deep cuts, I mean, they had Kate Bush, they had the Cramps, they actually had some of the cinematic score from War Games. Remember that Matthew Broderick movie from I think '86?
Mm-hmm.
They really went deep on it. We had some more people come in that I just want to call out real quick, and of course the chat likes to jump. William 101, thank you very much, Zaxx. Hail to you. We have Jaden Hamilton, great to see you. He says he's taking a break from reading to come and enjoy the stream. We have good friend Resurrection 117. Hail to you, brother. It's great to see you. If I've missed you, just keep using all caps and I blame Zaxx. But yeah, there are very few perfect things, and perfect is the enemy of good. In the case of Stranger Things, though, I try to be really acutely aware of how all of the really terrible dumbed down entertainment we've been given for the last couple of years, that it's not lowering my standards, that I'm not going to be suckered in by the grinding down of what my expectations are as far as good writing and good storytelling and good cinematography. And Stranger Things was one of the first ones where I kept waiting for the woke and for the intersectional and for the insert the things that we all talk about. It didn't happen. It never happened. And again, these are not half-hour episodes. Through 7 episodes, how many hours do you guys think this was? And there's a part 2 to it as well. I mean, it had to have been probably at least 12 hours of television that we got out of that. It was a lot.
It was a lot, and the part 2 is supposed to be, I think it's 2-hour episodes, so basically 2
4
movies.
hours. You're basically getting 2 movies. And it was funny. I was sitting there watching this, and I think the runtime on one of the episodes was almost the same as Doctor Strange. The funny thing is I didn't look at my watch, go to the bathroom, walk around the try and play the skill crane machine, and then come back in the movie theater and have missed nothing like I did in Doctor Strange. I was on the edge of my seat for this in Stranger Things too. So yeah.
Is it jarring at all to have the episodes different lengths? Because I've noticed this a lot with modern TV shows. One episode will be an hour long, another will be like 38 minutes, and then there'll be like a 50-minute episode. It seems to be a pattern that they've done at the moment.
I'm going to let Zaxx respond to that. What's your take on that, brother?
Well, the lengths actually were surprising to me. I didn't think that they were going to have an hour and a half long episodes. And I found myself, I think it was episode 6, and I thought, this should be over by now. It feels like it should be over. And so it did throw me off. But then I started checking the actual run times, and so I was prepared for episode 7, which is the longest episode. But the other thing with it, too, is I feel like they're willing to take chances, these guys, the Duffer Brothers, this season that, they probably didn't have to, and a lot of people wouldn't. And so I give them full credit for that. And I believe that there's main characters that may not make it through the season, and I'm okay with that. And I think if that happens, it's been earned. And there's nothing that's done for shock. I don't think.
Yeah.
Everything builds to the overall story, and the characters are very strong. So I'm impressed. And I wasn't season 2. I did not like mostly because of the emo road trip. Season 3 to me was a bit better, but so for them to come out with this, go all out season 4 like this with those lengths and that amount of writing done, I give them full credit.
I think they hurt us. I really do think they hurt us. And I think that Stranger Things was the show that Netflix really needed to be successful. And that's why, in my opinion, they didn't jam all of the ESG score driven narratives, all of the, strong independent women and overrepresentation and insert neo-Marxism. There was none of that. This was just straight up great writing, homages to a lot of 80s cinema. And no, it wasn't perfect. And if you don't like it, I get it. I really do understand. But I thought it was just a fantastic piece of television. And I cannot wait to talk about it with Purple Valkyrie when you have time to watch some of the episodes.
Also, Sophie, I'm not saying it's perfect, and to people in the chat, it's not perfect, but the first 4 episodes, I think, are just fantastic. Then, it does slow down a bit. You get quite a lot of exposition, don't you, Salty? We talked about that, but still, it's better than anything I've seen since Cobra Kai, and maybe parts of The Witcher season 1.
It made me think of Cobra Kai.
I agree. Yeah, in the argument, and I think we all need to see it, and I'm going to watch it again, but I think season 4 is better than season 1, but different than season 1.
Ooh, controversial. I'm rewatching it now. I'm halfway through season 1. It sent me back to it, so I'm really enjoying it, but it's very close.
I need to do a little bit of business in the chat. First of all, our very good friend at Trouble Green, Alasia, is in the house. Thank you so much for coming out. And I'm going to do a little sidestep here, and I'm going to say that I am going to be at the Dallas Comic-Con, June 16th through the 19th. I've been booked there for a while. I'm actually coming in a little bit early, so I'm going to be going to the Nerdrotic meetup on Thursday. Alasia, I understand, will also be there, so I look forward to see her. If you guys are going to be in Dallas, please let me know, because I've actually got some really cool things that we're going to be giving away, like nothing fantastic, because I don't make any money off this channel. I do this because I love it, but I want people who like the channel, people who support the channel, we're going to have some cool things, and I'd love to hang out with you guys and also do some impromptu live streams. Just again, hit me on Twitter or whatever it might be, or send me an email and we can coordinate. So I really look forward to that. Is anybody else on this show going to be going to Dallas?
Yes, indeed. Yes, Purple is making the trip across the Atlantic, and she will be joining you guys in Dallas.
Yep.
I'm
Purple
jealous,
Valkyrie will be in. I know. We wish we could get you there. So you heard it here first. Purple Valkyrie will be at the Dallas Comic-Con. We'll be at all these meetups, and it's going to be exciting because we're going to get to work together in person. Of course, Max Von Priestley is always also going to be there. I just wish my twin Canadian brother Zaxx, and of course my illegitimate brother Gray in Japan. We're going to be there as well. But,
Yes, we need to sneak you two out. We need to sneak Zaxx out from under the maple curtain and ship Gray across.
yeah.
I would so love to go. I'd so love to go.
It's 3.5 hours north for me, so I just get in a car and drive, and then I stop at this good little German bakery that sells German candy. It's on the way, and then I try not to lose my mind sitting in Dallas traffic. Let's be honest, but that's how it is. But I also got a question: what is this? I can do this. I'm professional. So this poster is actually a you can get it off. I'm gonna like. It's actually screen printed on silk, and I got it off eBay, and it is probably one of my favorite depictions of the original Star Trek cast and crew with the Enterprise as well. So just go ahead and look up on eBay Star Trek, and I think it's a silk print or a cloth print. It's really affordable, but it's one of my favorite pieces of art, and that's why I have it on the show. So thanks for asking. So am I gonna go to Vegas? Maybe, probably. We'll see.
Yes.
Right now, I gotta deal with
Dallas.
And watch the space.
Dave Bob said, "When is this? This is it's the 16th. It starts, but it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th when the convention is."
Yep, and the Nerdrotic meetup is that Thursday night. That's with Gina Carano. I don't have a lot of details. I rely on Max for this, and Max is just getting back into circulation. I'm just going to park that right there, and we look forward to hanging out. But again, Max is going to be there. I don't know a lot of details about Vegas. All I know is Dallas keeps dropping information, and there are more and more people that are going to be there. Of course, you're going to have all of the original Hobbits are going to be there. I believe on Saturday, Brendan Fraser is also going to be there on Saturday. A bunch of professional wrestlers as well, and I don't know. I signed up for this a long time ago. Just was like, I gotta go do something. I gotta get my geek on. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of glad that I did. And I'm really excited to meet everybody. I really am. And just look for the tall, goofy looking guy. That's probably me, or
It's true.
Either that,
likes
the handsome. If it's a handsome guy with a crazy hat, it's Drunk 3PO. If it's me, the dude with the longish hair, it's Salty Texas Sea. So yeah. But I just wanted to do that little detour in Purple Valkyrie. I'm really excited to get to work with you in person for us to live stream, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. So we're going to be, dropping little bits of video that we've taken. We're going to try and do a actual proper sit down live stream with as many people as we can.
Totally,
it's going to be fun.
Oh, can't wait, mate.
Yep.
Can't wait.
And Nosferatu the Vampire, I absolutely love the Hunter S. Thompson reference there. I have read every one of his books. Fear and Loathing, The Great Shark Hunt are some of my favorites. So hail to you, brother. It's great to see you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to our next article. And this is, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to start with, no, we're not going to do that. I did that earlier today. Those of you who saw my live stream on the Lord of the Rings Empire pictures, we're gonna go back over that a little bit with the other people that we have here that were not available today. But Variety Magazine, of course, because Top Gun does not follow the narrative, Top Gun Maverick, because this isn't about diversity and representation and strong women, and is, let's be honest about it, anti-Western. They're basically kind of pooping on it. There's no other way to put it. They call it a nostalgia. It's nostalgia worked as sentimentality. It's just a lot of the same critics. Go ahead, Purple.
Funny how we get these sort of articles come out whenever something that they don't want to be popular becomes popular. We had the same kind of criticism when Northman came out, and we know what the fans got called. Anybody who liked that film, and now they seem to be dunking on this as well.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're couching it in the thing of don't go making remakes, don't go back to the vault and drudge up any old movie in hopes of reaching massive box office riches unless you have a good script. Now, Purple, Valkyrie, Zaxx, Gray, haven't we heard that before and been called racists or istophobes or whatever it was? The fact that we don't want you to just remake some movie and not have a good script. And here we are. It's Variety saying what we've said and we were called yet again racist for.
I think that's a damn rich thing. nothing that Hollywood has done in the past 10 years has been anything but a remake or a reimagining.
Or a
and the only
reheating.
thing, well, yeah, not even that. I mean, some of it's not even body temperature. I mean, look at Ghostbusters, look at Terminator Dark Fate. I mean, we can run down the list. Look what they did to Star Wars. You know, it's like, that's funny. It's in Variety. And, you know, I mean, are there really executives in Hollywood scratching their heads going, what makes Top Gun Maverick better than our Ghostbusters? Is that really what they're doing? Because that's kind of what it sounds like in this article. Now, Zaxx, you saw Top Gun without giving spoilers.
I did.
What was it about that movie? And some inside baseball, Zaxx was tweeting me, telling me, you have to go, you have to go. I love this damn movie. I love this damn movie. What was it about this movie that you really liked?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with one very small spoiler, which is not movie related. But before the movie starts, Tom Cruise comes onto the screen, sits down, and addresses the audience directly. It was so it sounds pandering, but it really was effective. And he says, like, just I want you guys to know that we made this movie for you. We want all of you to like it, and we put a lot of work and time into this, but we did that all for you. And thank you for coming and seeing this in the theater. And
are you effing with me right now?
unbelievable, right? He didn't call us names. He didn't tell us we should leave or what we should think.
No, seriously, Zaxx, did that really happen, or you just fucking?
Yeah,
okay.
That's before the movie starts. He addresses the audience, thanking them for coming to this movie.
No way. That's like something that happens in Japan. It often happens here, where you'll see somebody as part of the promotion. They'll say like, a konnichiwa, Japan, or something about that. But that's so cool. He's doing that everywhere. Wow.
It was really cool.
Well, okay. Well, then when did he call you racist?
Never.
Like, what was it at? Like, after they got your money?
Well, no, they already had my money there too, and I almost choked on my popcorn when he thanked us for being there. So it was surprising, but it was heartfelt, and he seemed like he meant it. Like he was happy that we were seeing this in the theater, and that's why he wants it seen. And I saw it in IMAX, and it was great. But like that was like, okay, like that buys so much with the audience too, to get you to invest in the rest of the film by just saying, hey, thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here.
How it's kind of like holding the door open for some people, or saying good morning, as opposed to what Hollywood's been doing, which is driving by in their limos, holding both fingers out, screaming profanity at us.
100%.
That's what it has felt like from Hollywood for the last, I don't know, maybe since maybe 2008, 2010. I don't know. Definitely 2014. And I mean, and I'm not going to go far down this road. I mean, everybody's been talking about the brilliant Disney marketing plan for Kenobi since people are talking about it in the chat. And I mean, that's why I made the deep fake before this video, because that is literally all the attention Disney Star Wars is going to get from me. Now, I will clown on it, but to me, to have any type of semblance of a detailed conversation about something which is very clearly ideological crap, I'm not doing it, and I'm not saying anybody who does is. Let me say hello to Mr. Tickle Trunk, brother. It's great to see you. I think we were hanging out on Purple Stream this morning. I love a box of popcorn. As a matter of fact, I really want to see Top Gun Maverick. Like, I am going tomorrow. So hail to you, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for that box of popcorn. Yeah, I mean, Purple, have you seen this yet? What's your read? I mean, as a Brit, do you look at this going, oh, it's just kind of 80s, Americanism, whatever, or what do you think?
I haven't yet, and honestly, it wasn't really one that was on my radar. I mean, I like Top Gun, but I wasn't a crazy fan. But having seen the word of mouth from people, and having heard what Zaxx just said about being thanked for you coming to see a film rather than being called a bigot, that's amazing. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this film, and I was trying to see it over the weekend, but I didn't have time, so I'm going to try this week to see it.
And I want to call out Nerdporeal Lifeform. We were actually doing a spoiler-free review. I think it was Gray, you and I, last Friday. If you haven't subscribed to the Nerdporeal Lifeform, go check him out. He's a big Better Call Saul guy, really knows it and is really passionate about it. Great to see you in chat. So, yeah, it's interesting, this article. They say it may be tempting in the wake of Top Gun Maverick to sift around to find yet another once beloved. I cannot believe this Hollywood rag is saying what we've been saying for years. To sift around and find a once beloved 80s or 90s action flick or romantic comedy to use as a modern day twist. You mean like the all girls lesbian Fight Club? You mean like that one that you were just talking about on your front page a couple weeks ago?
We don't talk about lesbian Fight Club here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The other Top Gun thing too is that it has diversity in every sense, and it never talks about it once.
But then how do you know it's there?
Really? He doesn't hold up a big sign like this.
If people aren't ramming their sexuality and their race down your throat in a movie, how do you know who and what they are?
It's almost like he trusts his audience to figure it out.
No, wow.
Almost like that.
Amazing tactics. I'm not being sarcastic at all.
And it's right, like you said, Salty. It's the opposite of what Disney does, where they pull up a shield right away to say any criticism is because of this and this. But he goes out up front and says, "This is me, and if you love it, I'll take credit, and if you hate it, it's on me." He called his shot before the film. Respect that.
That's a leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's the patriarchy in a leader.
Can I just quickly say to address the chat, the Kenobi comments in the chat. I've just got one word for Ewan McGregor and that video, that car video.
Oh God,
you're a puppet and you're a tool, and I used to think you were a good actor. Okay, that's it. That's more than one word. Sorry.
But this isn't the first time that Ewan McGregor has opened up his mouth with this stuff. He did the same thing with that Harley Quinn in the House of, I don't know, intersectional pegging or whatever it was called. You guys know what I'm talking about? That came out a couple of years ago. Yeah, the House of Scissoring that got beat by Sonic. Not beat a little bit, but Sonic crushed it. And then the Hollywood had to make up this story about how, it did better than it did. You know what I mean? I don't know. Gray, you haven't seen Top Gun yet, have you?
No, I haven't. No, as I say, I'm very excited to hopefully go and see it on Friday. As long as Netflix don't release another Stranger Things episode, I should be going to go and see it. Yeah,
I know.
How about you, Salty?
I'm going to go see it tomorrow, honest to God's truth. But let me finish this paragraph, because this one paragraph could honestly be like a 3-hour video on, on Midnight's Edge. No disrespect, but I mean, there's so much to unpack from one paragraph here. And here's the last sentence. So, but the old age tactic only works, of course, of doing remakes when the studio and the filmmaking team can make a compelling case for a sequel to exist on its own. Familiar faces may generate social media buzz, but that doesn't always translate into ticket sales. I am going to ask the same question again. Who else has been saying this for the last 5 years?
Anyone with an IQ higher than a potato?
I mean, we all know the big YouTubers, obviously Nerdrotic, The Critical Drinker, Heel versus Babyface. I mean, the list goes on. Eric July, the list goes on and on and on. And here we are. We have Variety now gets to say what we've been saying for how long? And it's like, I simply, like, what changed? And I'm going to ask you guys on the panel this. I think I know what changed, but I'm going to start with you, Zaxx. Why do you think a journal like Variety is finally saying and admitting what we've all been saying and then called racist for?
Because they have a week-long memory, and they forget what they said the week prior. And so this week it sounds like the thing to say, and so they're going to say it this week, and then next week they will say something else. Because it's whatever fits their message at the time, and then they move on. They're like goldfish. Yeah.
Yeah, and just wait. We'll probably get a remake of the classic vampire movie Lost Boys, only it'll be transgendered women as the Lost Boys, and they'll say it's the most important thing because representation is important. What do you think, Purple Valkyrie? Do you think is it the goldfish memory, or are there other more material reasons that could be driving them to make this admission?
I think it's more they're checking which way the wind is blowing with this, and they're trying to spin it like they're this kind of fountain of wisdom. And we knew this all along. This is something. But as Zaxx said, next week, whatever film comes out, they will spin it again. And had this film performed poorly, this would not be the story they would be going with. They would be saying, it's a terrible film. It's all about the patriarchy, and this isn't what people want. So it's good that it's not making any money. But because it did so incredibly well, they've got to find a new angle to spin
Good point.
I think that's very, very fair. I really, really do. What about you, Gray? What's your read on this? Why do you think they're saying this?
It kind of staggers belief. So as Zaxx was saying, to address what Zaxx was talking about, Zaxx, are you saying that there's some kind of message that these studios, these magazines, the media are supposed to be like putting out there?
Yeah,
Really?
it's that we're bigots if we don't like what they tell us to like.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
that's what's so
we're supposed to
crazy.
like what we're
Which
told
I
to
am.
like, and we're not
I
allowed to
am.
have an
Well,
opinion, right?
yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, no, but I
don't
didn't
know.
mean to interrupt you, Gray. It's just, but it boggles the mind, and I think, unfortunately, like Zach says, this was the flavor of the week. No one's going to remember this. Then tomorrow they're going to be telling us about how Kenobi is so important because it has a person with a particular race in sexuality that is very important to be put in a galaxy far, far away. Or that it's important that Snow White be or the Little Mermaid be cast with somebody who has who it just I can't even go down that road because it's ridiculous. It has nothing
It
to do with
is.
the quality of the product. It has nothing to do with the quality of the story. And we've seen it from countless productions, and we got news today, more news on the Lord of the Rings of Power, where it really looks like it is not only a combination of bad story writing and a bait and switch, but also not the best castings I've seen in the world, coupled with highly questionable production values, if I can just say that. So, and I'm going to go to the Comic Relief Crusader. He says the message must be protected. It's true. I saw an article today saying that those ESG scores that I keep harping on, which are not a conspiracy theory, they're going to be pushing them. We've seen what they've done to our entertainment. That's why it's weird. It sucks. Doesn't make any sense. They're pushing them into other facets of our life. Now, I don't do a political channel, but if you didn't like what's done to our entertainment, you're really not going to like what it does to the IRL. Just going to say that. So, yeah. And I'm sorry, Nosferatu. I do know who Klaus Kinski is. I just didn't put him into my original vampire thing because I am a Philistine, and you have helped me understand that quite a bit. Yeah. In closing, Zaxx, I'm going to put you on the spot. If there's somebody who's on the fence about not seeing Top Gun Maverick, what would you say to them? If they're not into if they don't like Tom Cruise or whatever, whatever it is.
It's that it's not the movie that you think it is. I just watched the first Top Gun again, and it's better than the first Top Gun, and that it has a lot more story to it, and there's lots of character work that you actually buy into, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's lots of really amazing stunt scenes and everything like that with these actors did some of their own piloting, which is amazing, and you can see it in the film too. But if for nothing else, because they want you to go and see it and they want you to like it. So give them a chance. They're asking you to go and just give it a chance.
And go ahead, Zaxx.
I want to pile on quickly about Ewan McGregor because he worked with Gina Carano in her first movie. And they did tons of work together in that film, and they were the main co-stars. And how often did he work with this Moses person? Really, filming that show? Probably not much. And he stands up for her, and just nothing for Gina.
It's because Gina is a white, and she has a message that goes against the message, and she has an opinion, and she's a strong woman. That's why.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I saw that Bill Burr finally grew a pair and started maybe even raising his voice a little bit above a whisper about what happened to Gina Carano. And
too late, mate. Too late.
I know, too late, dude. I mean, come on, you're from Boston, you're hard edge. I mean, come on, dude. And I'm not going to go down that road, but don't sit here and pretend that you always had her back because, dude, no. Where the hell were you? You're sitting on something.
I've got one more thing to sell Top Gun to people, and that's that my wife didn't want to go and she loved it.
See, and that's the question I didn't want to ask, and you provided the perfect answer. So, Purple, I know you're not the biggest Tom Cruise fan. I
may have mentioned it in the past, yes.
Maybe a couple times. Is there any scenario where you would go see a Tom Cruise movie? I mean, are you still going to sit this one out, or maybe you wait for it on video, or is any of this what we've been saying? Is it move the needle a little bit for you?
Oh, I do actually want to see it. I can separate the art from the artist if it's a great film, and from what I've heard, this is a good, fun film. So absolutely, and I think this is exactly what people are wanting. We want entertaining films, and this is what they've given us. And again, this is something that seems to have gone against the narrative that they are trying to push. So they've had to change it and spin it, and as we've seen before, they've already got these pre-planned responses. No matter what we say, if it's good, then they will try and take it down a notch and kind of underplay it, and downplay how great of something is. If we say it's terrible, well, we're all racist and istophobes, and the usual excuses come out.
Yeah, or like with Stranger Things, where Stranger Things was kicking the hell out of Kenobi in all metrics, to the point where Kenobi decided on its launch day to roll 3 hours earlier than Stranger Things season 4. They're going to repurpose Stranger Things 4 to talk about the sexuality of children.
Mm-hmm.
Salty, your final point. Sorry, final point on the Kenobi. The actress who was cast, she's working for the Empire. She's working for the space Yahtzees. Come on, guys, what are you doing?
Well, at least she's not a janitor like they made Finn in the Disney Star Wars sequel. It's a step up. Someone played that Jeffersons movie. They're moving on up to the sky. I'm not cleaning toilets on the Death Star. Congratulations, Disney.
Oh, but according to her, there weren't any other people of color before she was in Star Wars.
That's right. Purple.
It's
not.
I don't think she's a horrible person. I just think she's not very intelligent, and she certainly doesn't know Star Wars.
Well, she doesn't know Star Wars any better than apparently the writers of Kenobi, or the writers of Boba Fett, or the writers of. I'll just leave that there. And I'm going to leave everybody with this, and just to piggyback off of what Zaxx says, and this is from Tom Cruise himself. And again, I'm not a Tom Cruise simp. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about Tom Cruise, but in this case, I respect the work ethic, and I respect the fact that this is an individual who doesn't just come out and when something does well, take the credit, but also says, if it goes sideways, it's on me. How often does anybody do that anymore?
Yes, he did that with the Mummy film as well, if I remember correctly. When that bombed, he was like, this wasn't a great film. I'm sorry, guys. When in reality, it was actually Kurtzman's fault.
Yeah, well, we got to protect Alex Kurtzman for some reason. I don't know if that has to. I'm not going to make that joke because I don't want to lose my channel. Anyway, so I'm going to quote Tom Cruise. He says, "I wasn't ready to make a Top Gun sequel until we had a special story worthy of a sequel. And technology evolved so we could delve deeper into the experience of a fighter pilot." I mean, they just didn't want to half-ass it and throw it out there, and then when people didn't like it, call them names. Interesting. I am really excited to go see Top Gun Maverick, and I really didn't understand this, even though all the things that you said, Kyle, about how great this movie was. I'm really looking forward to this. Paul Wolfie, you've been very patient. This is in response to something that the Thad That Shouldn't Be said about how all of this entertainment is going to be forgotten in 10 years. Paul Wolfie for $2 says, no, Zaxx, you're on cold meds. Stop. $2 says, no, keep receipts on these frauds. Never forget. Hail to you, brother. I don't think there's a way to forget things like the string of failures Hollywood has. And my take on this Top Gun thing and why this narrative is changing is, part of me wonders if them seeing how Spider-Man No Way Home made all that money, and now how Top Gun made all that money. And I'd like to think somebody in that screwed up town somewhere might get that maybe it's the story, stupid. And it always has been about the story, and it will always be about the story. And you can sit there and play your little ESG score games, and you can play all your diversity and representation corporate goal games. But at the end of the day, you are a business, and you have shareholders, and everybody is seduced by the stakeholder capitalism, which drives ESG. Well, guess what? You cannot run a company on that. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Hail to you, Paul Wolfie. Thank you so much. And I'm going to jump to the next super chat. Thank you so much for being on top of this stuff, Zaxx. So this one comes to us from Taker610, says, okay, I didn't even know. Look at Spider-Man and Top Gun, proving once again the white cis males of the world can still bring them in. It's almost like Oh, see, we were Vulcan mind modeling. I didn't even see this. He says it's almost like good characters in film are good. I agree. It doesn't seem that complicated. And we had Cameron Pasha on to talk about woo woo and Bigfoot and all kinds of crazy things in a great way a couple of weeks ago. But he's obviously a screenwriter in Hollywood, and hearing some of his stories and about the challenges that are there, and really talented people who can't work because of the color of their skin and because of their sexuality. It's actually happening.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
But
Yes.
I agree. Go ahead, Purple Valkyrie.
I was going to say they certainly don't practice what they preach in Hollywood. Yes, they're all about inclusion and diversity, but only certain types, certainly.
Yeah, vamp for me while I pull this thing up. So I'm not going to spend all day talking about this. I just wanted to bring it up in context of a larger conversation that we're going to have. And thank you very much, Zaxx. This is Lyle, brother. I hope you've forgiven me for. I hate that I make you sad about the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. I respect you. I want you to be right. I really am. Just
Hail
look in my
Lyle.
eyes. I really mean it. So hail to you, Lyle. Hail to Mrs. Hammock, and hail to Little Hammock. A longtime supporter of this channel. This is for $10. Says, hail to all. Just dropping by to say hello. I'm at work and can't stay, but I wish you all an amazing stream. And also, Salty, let me know if you have your P.O. box set up so I can send you some goodies. I am working on that. I really am. I'm behind on some things. I've been doing a lot of content, and I'm going to stop making excuses. I will get on that, Lyle. I will get on that. Lyle, you're a very generous man. You don't have to do that, but I will get on it. So hail to you, Lyle. It's wonderful to see you. And again, I really hope we get a good Lord of the Rings story. I really do. I just, yeah.
I'm still hoping, Salty. I'm still hoping. I'm still positive. I'm remaining positive. You never know. They might actually make a good series with a good story and good acting. These characters might be well written.
Yeah, maybe.
Am I being a fool? Am I being a fool again?
I wouldn't say that to your face. But yeah, speaking of things that people hope are going to be a good story, nobody's talking about this Game of Thrones prequel. I mean, is anybody talking about it? I don't hear anybody going on about what this is going to be, about excitement for it on HBO. Where are you guys at with this Game of Thrones prequel?
Yeah, not really. I mean, we talked about it when the trailer dropped, but nothing else has come out about it. And as you say, there's no real hype for it, even though they were smart enough to kind of get in under the wire before Amazon, which I thought was pretty funny. But yes, I think a lot of people are very jaded with what happened in the later seasons. But the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, I thought were fantastic TV.
Yes. They're jaded, Purple, you're right. And also, I think they've just left it too long, because this was announced a while ago, wasn't it? And as you say, the first trailer was out a bit ago, but nobody's talking about it as far as I know. But I don't subscribe to Game of Thrones channel, so I don't know for sure.
So we got a $5 super chat here, also from Taker6N. Thank you very much. Pedro Pascal called half the country Nazis. Gina warned against othering and spreading lies about people. Disney fired Gina. Think about that.
Think about that.
Yeah. So this article I pulled up is from a couple days ago. It's from 2 days ago. This comes from Digital Fix, and it is George R.R. Martin taking time out of his busy schedule, not finishing his own series, to complain about the customers, the fans of his books. And where this article is going is that Martin didn't finish his own books, so therefore Dan and Dave were forced to come up with their own terrible ending. And overall, and I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I can't really comment it. I read all the books that were available up to that time, but I've heard a lot of people, including people on this panel, talk about how disappointing the last couple of seasons were, in particular season 8. Well, George Martin says, and I quote, "I don't understand how people can come to hate so much of something they once loved. If you don't like a show, wait for it. Don't watch it." How has everything become so toxic? Of course, he's saying this while sitting on a 6-foot pile of $100 bills, and But
I hate
really, you are the problem. Can you believe the chutzpah of this guy? I'm going to start with you on this one, Purple Valkyrie. Tell me about what you think about George R. R. Martin and his comment here.
Yes, the
Fan
absolute
shaming.
the absolute goal of the fans wanting an author to write a damn book. It's amazing, wanting them to finish his magnum opus, where he has spent many, many years writing pretty much anything but Game of Thrones. He's done TV, he's done video games, he's done short stories, but he will not finish this book. And I think it's because he doesn't know how to at this point. Because of the backlash of the TV series, I think he is afraid of getting backlash himself, so he would rather not finish the series.
I can't blame him. He wrote himself into a corner, and he killed off a lot of the people I even cared about, I think, by book 3 or 4, but I tried to hang with it as best as I could. And that's why I didn't watch the TV series, was because he pissed me off so much with literally just killing everybody I cared about. I'm like, all right, whatever. Aldan, you are awesome. Hail to you, my channel member, Wolf Brother. First 10 Australian dollars says, hail, George R. R. Martin is a fool. That's it. Carry on, legends. Well, you carry on too, Aldan. I can't wait to interview you again. I can't. I one of the things I love to do in my channel is interview people, like I got to for the Wheel of Time. We're going to do the same thing again for Tolkien. I may go ahead and do it for to talk about your experience with Game of Thrones before the show comes out too, because you guys are great. I really dig your insights, and I really appreciate you guys being in the chats and also supporting this channel. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I mean, again, I'm a chimp with a mic, and then I tricked Purple Valkyrie and Zaxx and Gray into working with me. And but I'm really grateful you all are here tonight. So hail to you guys. Yeah. What do you think about this, Zaxx? I mean, did you watch Game of Thrones when it was on? How do you feel about this? Do you feel as toxic as George R. R. Martin says you are?
I think that it would be difficult for an author to be less respectful to his audience than he's been in the last few years. Really, I read these books before there was a TV show, and I was excited for the show, and I loved the first 5 seasons of it, and obviously then it went downhill quickly. And I mean, that's his fault too, as much as D&D are idiots and they've proven that they can't handle a show or writing. He put them in that situation, and he still is in that situation, and I don't think he's ever going to come back and read it. But it's like he's trolling us now, and he's been trolling us for years by talking about, well, I'm going to go do some writing this weekend, hint, hint, and then he comes up with writing, but it's not the writing we want, and he knows that. So he's trolling his audience. I can't stand him, and I used to think like, oh, what if he dies before he finishes these books? And I don't care now.
I think he's going to do it on purpose, just to really one last time piss the fans off.
I think he'll
fake. I think he'll fake his death. Let's be honest. At this point, and he'll just he'll just fake his death and then move to buy an island somewhere and bring all of his train and all that other crap he has out there and pretend to be like a retired insurance salesman or something, just to get away from us toxic fans.
I know, right? I've stopped counting, but I think it's something like 12 or 13 years since the last book.
Poor Jon Snow's still bleeding out.
Yes.
He is.
In the snow.
Well, I made this joke because Sanderson was kind of jealous of George R. R. Martin taking time out of not writing his book to go work on Elden Ring. And it was actually a pretty big video that came out that I did. But I made a joke that why not let Sanderson finish George R. R. Martin's books, just like he did for Robert Jordan. Now, I think Sanderson is a good writer. I don't think he is a world-class writer, but his productivity is second to none. I think some of the work that Brandon Sanderson has done is quite good, but some of it I don't like either, And but you know what? Give it to somebody like Sanderson. Give it to somebody who's a capable, competent writer, and let George just edit the proofs and collect the checks. Problem solved. And at this point, this book has become impossible to write because of the expectations around it. I'm not saying that to have any empathy for George R. R. Martin. He's responsible for that. But regardless if he said he's going to publish this book tomorrow, I think there would be a highly divided fandom because it's impossible to live up to the expectations that he himself created the circumstances for. Why did it take so damn long to write it? And the fact is he doesn't want to. And I don't know.
I don't want to hear him talk about football. Please don't write about football. You look like
Yeah.
you're going to die getting out of your love seat. So please don't talk to me about football.
Oh,
he needs
man.
he needs one of those chairlift things, you know what I mean? So
He does.
it'll lift him to the bag of Cheetos on the table, and then it'll lower him back down so he doesn't put too much stress on himself. Because no, I don't wish any ill will to George R. R. Martin. I wish him a very long life, and I wish him the gift of inspiration. I wish him the gift of inspiration, and if not inspiration, then guilt to finish this book, not for me, but for other people. We'll bounce off this real quick. I just wanted to show, just again, this is a counterpoint to what we just talked about with what Tom Cruise did. And again, I'm not beatifying or deifying Tom Cruise. I mean, I'm just going to say one word: Scientology, right? But the fact that he is actually grateful to the consumer that comes in and says, if you like it, great, but if you don't like it, blame me, is very different than George R. R. Martin screwing around for 13-14 years. He says, you know what, screw you, why are you so toxic for hating on the crap show that I couldn't be bothered to finish? All right, let's wrap this one up. Dealing with the show's more outspoken fan has not deterred George R. R. Martin from being involved in the upcoming prequel, The House of the Dragon, which comes out 2 weeks before another certain highly anticipated prequel. Quote, this is George R. R. Martin, wait for it. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power isn't even on yet, but if you follow what's going on online, the controversy about it is like World War II. You hear controversies online. This is George R. R. Martin. Martin certainly has some strong opinions about toxic fandom, and who can blame him? Quote, you hear controversies about some of the Marvel shows and the Marvel movies, and certainly about DC characters. It used to be, here's George R. R. Martin's going to take us back in the Wayback Machine. It used to be, if you were a fan of Star Trek, you liked Star Trek. Now it seems like half the people who call themselves Star Trek fans hate Star Trek. I can't even say this without laughing. And the Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. And now the Tolkien fans hate the Lord of the Rings of Power. What the hell? All right, let's answer this question for Mr. George R. R. Martin. What is different? And that is what they completely evade from this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with you on this one, Gray. Pick any of those: Marvel, DC, Star Trek. I mean, why don't you take the Marvel angle in the Marvel stuff and the DC stuff and run with the comics as well as the movies do? Just run with that one.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, and it's hard to even put it into words how insane this comment is. He's asking why do the fans of Marvel Comics or DC or whatever, Star Trek, why do they hate the current property, the current version of them?
They're racists.
They're
racist. That's why.
They're rubbish. The writers can't write. They've lost the lore. They've lost the original parts of the character. What makes the characters what they are? And as you say, Salty, the companies hate the fans. They keep coming out and telling us how horrible we are, how racist we are. How we haven't got a clue about anything. We should just shut up and accept what they're giving us, what they're shoveling down our throats. It's making me mad, man. It's making me mad. Comics Comics is not dead. I'm just saying it's not dead, but a lot of the comic characters are not being written as they are supposed to be written. As they are, they've lost what they're all about.
Well, I think you're a bigot because I mean, come on, they made everybody gay, Gray.
I am.
You cannot criticize them. That makes you a bigot.
I keep forgetting that there's 90% of the comic buying audience are actually gay. I didn't realize that. Stupid me, right?
Well, when we had Azon from Heel versus Babyface, when he was talking about the potential audience for the actual properties, not just the Marvel comic books, but also the Marvel movies, who are they making it for? It's 0.00000. He was right. And that's what running with this ESG score driven corporate insanity does. And they call it stakeholder capitalism, but it's destroying these companies, and they're doing their damnedest to hide the fact that it is destroying them. And I think that's part of the reason, again, I think why Netflix ran with Stranger Things season 4. They knew they needed to have something, because if you haven't checked Netflix stock price in a while, Disney stock price in a while, Amazon stock price in a while, this whole ESG thing, not really working out very well. And Purple Valkyrie, what do you think about this? What was your fandom? Was it Star Trek? Was it Star Wars? Out of all of these, Marvel, DC, which one of these, I guess, triggers you, or I guess brings the Irish up in you in response to George R. R. Martin?
Honestly, I loved all of them. I would consider myself a fan of pretty much all of these. And what the hell happened, George? Well, it's simple. These were taken over by people that aren't fans of the franchises, that did not grow up with them, that didn't love them, that didn't support them. They decided that the people that did are no longer fans, and they went looking for this mythical new set of fans that they wanted to appease, that don't actually exist, that don't support the IPs, that don't buy the merchandise, but they still want to have and they want more inclusivity. And we were told that if you don't like it, go away. This isn't yours anymore.
Mm-hmm. I remember a certain comic book creator said something, but I'm going to get to Paul Wolfley, who's been very patient. And this is a genius take, Paul. Thank you. For $2 says toxic? That's an odd way to spell standards.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mic drop by Paul Wolfley. And that's the problem. The problem is that we don't just like the crap that they're throwing at us. I keep remembering Alex Kurtzman. I think it was 2 years ago now when we were all locked down for something. And he was talking about how Star Trek is a platform. And it's true. It's not just Star Trek. It's Star Wars. It's every Marvel movie. It's every DC thing. It's virtually everything on Amazon with a few exceptions. Outer Range falls in that category. Certainly a lot of things on Netflix with one exception. Stranger Things. And
Cobra Kai.
Well, and Cobra Kai too.
Sorry.
But the thing that George R. R. Martin says, I mean, he has a vested interest in the status quo. He is 70 something years old. He just wants the checks to be coming. I'd like to think he still cares about these legacy things. I think that if you were to put George R. R. Martin in front of Star Trek Strange New Worlds or Star Trek whatever Picard, that he would probably get up and leave the room, no matter how hard it was to get out of the lazy boy. And I don't buy this argument, and it's insulting to me. I was kind of neutral about George R. R. Martin, but this I'm going to say this word, the shit that he's talking here to us, it's pretty irredeemable. And I'm really tired of being othered. I'm tired of being othered. I'm tired of being shamed. And I'm tired of having things that are entirely fallacious being said about me. It's like saying, you're going to go to a restaurant, and when you sit down to eat, order a steak. And when they deliver a steak, and what they bring out is a cardboard cutout of a steak. And then they give you a knife, they give you a fork, and you start cutting it, and you're like, but this is two-dimensional. It looks like a steak, but it doesn't smell like a steak. It doesn't taste like a steak, and it doesn't fill me up the way real nutrients do. These shows are devoid of soul, of a 3-act play, of a hero's journey. They are content, but my analogy of the two-dimensional steak is true. There is nothing that is going to satisfy you, that is going to give you the nutrition that you need from an emotional or entertainment standpoint. And what you're left with is, in my opinion, a great deal of hackney writing, which is there just to act as that Kurtzman-like platform for agenda. Mm-hmm. And so George R. R. Martin, God bless you. I hope you have a long life.
Salty, you're right. Is he saying, basically he's saying, look, if you're a fan, you have to like it. That's what he's saying, isn't it? But fans have always argued about these properties in the past.
Right.
Star Trek, Star Wars. We've always said, when we don't like something, and that's what makes fandom so much fun. The debate, having opinions.
Eat your fake steak and move on. That's what they want. They want you to consume and move on to the next shiny thing.
Well, what they want to do is they want to charge you that filet mignon price for eating 1 inch of a styrofoam cutout, and I'm not going to do it.
It's a great analogy.
But see, this is why I keep calling things out, and it's not to rage farm, believe it or not. And this is why I am so critical of the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, is because I refuse to accept the cardboard cutout of what Lord of the Rings should be. I refuse to lower my standards on that. And if that means I miss out and I'm not part of all the Twitterati or Twitter morons that are descending like locusts to celebrate something like they did with The Wheel of Time, like they did with WandaVision, who never read anything, who probably didn't even watch the damn show, but it has hashtag representation, hashtag diversity, which is fine. But it's like, don't sit there and tell me that I am eating a steak when it is a two-dimensional piece of cardboard. And this from George R.R. Martin, again, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. He's my parents' age. He's not in the best of health. Maybe walk around the block, George. And I don't buy this. You cannot tell me that any version of Star Trek to date, even going back to Enterprise, which I couldn't stand, belongs anywhere near Star Trek Picard or this. What the hell is it? That thing with Mikey Spock that I can't stand. And then this other half-ass show, Strange New World, which Nerdporial is going to have an aneurysm over because he covers that show. And it's like, you can't tell me this Boba Fett belongs in the same sentence as The Empire Strikes Back.
No way.
Or any of the animated Star Wars shows. And Purple, were you into the animated Star Wars universe at all? Were you into any of those cartoons?
I came in a little bit late because when that was on TV, I was a little bit old for it. But I know a lot of people really love Clone Wars. It was fantastic. Yeah. But I do remember the droids and Ewoks from the 80s. Was it early 90s? Yeah. I remember watching those very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're going to get to you on this one, Zaxx, because I'd love to get your take on this. Let me get to Matt, Unbearable73, good guy, one of the hardest working YouTubers. He is an up-and-coming guy. Matt grinds it out every day. Right now, God bless him, he's doing Kenobi reviews as well as, I believe, Stranger Things reviews as well. This is a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Matt. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. He says, historically, George R.R. Martin only writes books when he needs money. He would much prefer to be an editor or work on TV shows. Given how much money he has, it is highly unlikely he will ever finish the series. I think you're right. I'm going to hand this one off to you, Zaxx, on this one. Tell me what you think about what Matt says, and then also tell me what you think about what this idiotic statement George R. has made.
I think he's right about that. That is true. That he's also done a ton of writing that people don't even talk about. But he did all that for money as well. He was very mercenary early in his career, and the guy likes to eat, so he's got to feed himself somehow. But right now he's wealthy. He doesn't need to do anything, and that's why he's not doing anything. That's one reason, I think. And then for his comments here, I really think I have the best response, which is George R.R. Martin is a New York Jets fan. The New York Jets have been a terrible team for a very long time.
You're really going to go there.
I'm going to go there.
Don't do me, Zaxx.
They're horrible. So, he's a fan of them, but does he have to pretend they're good?
There's so many. Okay, if we're going to do this, then I'm going to do this. One could say the same thing about Flaccid Phoenix, who is a terribly misguided football fan. He happens to like a terrible team from Minnesota called the Vikings. He was on my show last week, so this is all meant in good fun. Maybe. But yeah, I don't understand why somebody who I vaguely respect like Flaccid Phoenix would ever watch the Vikings. In the case of George R.R. Martin, it's a much more serious case because the New York Jets really are tragic. But the point with all this is that he's spending more time writing and tweeting about the New York Jets, who objectively suck, and not even vaguely trying to come up with anything creative. But what do you think about this statement, though, Kyle? I mean, in this fandom here, I know that you like Star Trek. I know you were a huge Star Wars fan. I know that you're a big Tolkien fan. How can anybody in their right mind make a statement like this and be serious?
He can't. He's trolling us for sure, Corey. This is a troll job because the reason that we're mad and the reason that we sometimes can hate is because we're fans and we have loved. And that's what it is, and he knows that. And he's saying this to pull this response from people because he's a troll. And so like I said, he's a fan of a terrible team. He doesn't pretend they're good, but he's still a fan. You know, it's the same idea. And he's so good at this stuff about pissing me off. It's kind of unbelievable, but he really does have a way to get to me that most other people in the public don't. But for some reason,
true. You are normally
always
so collected. I talked to Kyle about this, and he's like, "That goddamn George Martin and Jets." It's like it always starts with goes back to the Jets here, doesn't it? But,
yeah. Well, I mean, this one does, but like, yeah, we love this stuff, and so we can get angry about it, and we're still fans, just because it's not good.
And this is not like going back to Kirk, and then when the Next Generation came out, I think it was in '87, and everybody was very concerned about Jean-Luc Picard, about Patrick Stewart coming, because it was a very different captain than Captain Kirk, and that first season was a rough first season of television. I remember watching it going, this doesn't really feel like Star Trek, but we kept watching it, and
absolutely, it
got a little better, and then second season was like, all right, and then third season, okay, this is Star Trek. You know what I mean? And the thing is I'm not willing to do that with Tolkien. I'm not willing to do that with Wheel of Time. I'm not willing to do that. And it's not because what's different is that Star Trek had taken off so long in between what it actually was that it needed time to figure out what it was. In the case of something like Wheel of Time or certainly Tolkien, it already knows what it is. You just your job in producing and directing these shows is to do the most faithful adaptation possible, and that is the last damn thing any of these people are doing. All right, before we move off this George R.R. Martin thing, how excited are you guys? Like, I mean, did George R.R. Martin calling you racist and toxic, did that help you want to see the Game of Thrones prequel on HBO?
I can't wait, and I can't wait to buy his new book, which is never going to come out. So yeah,
thanks,
George.
I know.
I canceled my HBO already, so I really did. Yeah. Sil's here. Sil Abdul's here. Hey, Sil.
Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, we were just talking about George R.R. Martin, and George R.R. Martin called us a bunch of toxic fandom because George R.R. Martin doesn't understand why we don't like the new Star Wars, and we don't like the new Star Trek, and we don't like the new Marvel comics.
Salty, I love it when you say
because we're the problem, right? I mean, you know this. You talk about this stuff, and you and I, we don't agree on a lot of things, and I appreciate your optimism. But still, man, aren't you tired of being called a toxic fan? Seriously? Thank you, brother, for the $5. Says, hail at work, listening to this very safe for work language. Oh, that it was gray and purple. They swore.
I'm sorry. So. I'm sorry.
It's always the Brits, yes.
I didn't swear, did I?
I'm teasing. We got a member chat from Al Dan. It says, hail to you, brother. By the way, says George R.R. Martin will never be a Wolf brother, one of my channel members. Well, he's certainly welcome to give me very large super chats, but and I would love to actually have him on the show because I think it would be cool to talk with him about these old shows. And there's a trick to that. And the thing is, if you talk to anybody about anything that they love, like a fandom, like Nerdporial with the original the original Star Wars, if you talk with other creators about the original Star Wars series, if you talk about Star Trek or Farscape or Deep Space Nine or Lord of the Rings or any of those things, you can see like it's not just nostalgia. We're not making it into something it wasn't. It really is that good. And when you watch the current year product, like if you try and watch current year Star Trek, just watch one episode and then watch one episode back from the original series or from anything from season 3 on in the Next Generation, you notice a very wide gulf. And I've been noticing this for a while, and I want to make a video on it because the amount of humanity that you're getting in shows that were made before, say, 2010 to now, it's almost like the characters we're getting on screen are deliberately being written not to be human beings as we were. I mean, I'm Gen X, but that doesn't mean I'm a freaking dinosaur. It just means that there seemed like these characters had a whole lot more depth and emotion and range than any of these new characters, whether it be in Marvel or Disney Star Wars or any of this other stuff. And now we're starting to see it in the Lord of the Rings.
Same can be said for comics as well. Gray can attest to that.
Go ahead, please.
And what you're just saying, Salty and Purple and Zaxx as well, You're talking about good writing, yeah, good characters, good acting in new Star Wars, in new Star Trek. But come on, guys, it looks really good. It's beautiful to look at. It's shiny. That's all we want.
Oh, does it? Does it? You mean like when Boba Fett's dancing with all those stupid Tusken Raiders, and I don't know, maybe they're humping? or wait a minute, maybe you're talking about the part in Boba Fett where they're riding those Vespas in the desert, looking like
that
a bunch
was my
of
favorite
morons.
scene in the whole Boba Fett series. Yeah, I loved it.
Sorry. I'm a little salty, hence the name. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Gray. Sorry. Yeah.
Purple, what did you think? Like, I mean, you've got to say they do look good. The production value is huge on these series, but they've forgotten how to write a story.
The production value is massive, but the CGI is getting worse on a lot of them.
God, yeah.
I mean, if you think back, especially with Star Wars and certainly with a lot of the Marvel shows that we've got, the CGI is not brilliant, to be honest. And yes, I just thought that it was funny that the best episode of Boba Fett we had was the Mandalorian episode when he wasn't even in it.
Oh God, yeah! How embarrassing is that for for Boba Fett and for the people involved in the series? It's like, okay, let's forget about Boba Fett. Let's drop the two episodes of the new Mandalorian season in just because it's so much better.
They'd have to have shame to be embarrassed. Really, that's the problem, right?
This is true. This is very true.
It's the thing they don't have. And what I've noticed so much now, I can't unsee it. I'm going to ruin it for everyone. Is the stagecraft involved in these things? The way they make these shows. Once you start to see the circles everywhere, when everything's filmed in a circle, it's going to drive you nuts. So go look for that next time you watch a show and aggravate yourself like I do. It's they film it on a soundstage in a circle with a screen around this, so everything is a circle all the time, and it's horrible for action scenes.
Mm-hmm. Or like in Kenobi, where they use the same alleyway about 50 times.
Oh God! It's like, what did you spend your money on?
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's it.
Is that where it went? I guess. Yeah. And Pop says, I don't want to see any of this content until I'm insulted in some way. Then you're going to love Disney. And it's just like, especially Kenobi. Hail to you, Pops. You worked with Pops on a recent episode, didn't you, Gray?
Yeah, Pops is awesome, by the way. Shout out to Pops. He's got some really good takes. He knows what's going on. He's got a vast amount of knowledge with comics and TV and movies. So yeah, love to see him on this stream sometime, Salty. Just saying.
Hail, Nick McCabe. You have been fighting the good fight on Twitter. Don't think I'm not noticing.
I've seen.
Don't think you're
man.
holding the line. You are in the foxholes, and I won't get into a lot of detail, but especially on the Lord of the Rings. And then, as Paulie, the Latino slant, says, the Wokosos. He definitely does not take any guff from them. And then, of course, we have the magical twin Sam, who is equally a ninja, just as much as Nick is and standing in the fight. Hail to you, brother. He says, hey, everyone, good to see you. Sam and Nick, it's great to see you guys. Please, let's reach out and let's do something. You guys, I would love to do some takes with you guys in stereo. And it would kind of be like a bizarre Matrix thing. Let's be honest about it. And hail to you. Also, we've got our good friend Rosie Gamgee, the warmest woman who ever leaves comments on my videos. She says, let me at him. No one messes with Salty. Well, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people messing with Salty at the moment, so I might be reaching out to you.
Really?
Yeah, not in the good way either, Greg.
Do tell, Salty. Do tell.
Yeah, you just keep it zipped over there. It's fine. So, let's do. All right, what do we got? Is there any? If I missed anything,
before you got a super chat.
Go ahead.
One thing I can mention.
Go ahead.
Alasia, a Trouble Green, shout out to her. She just said that, is it A Terror on the Prairie or A Terror on the Prairie, Gina Carano's new movie?
Yes.
The trailer just dropped, and all she said was, oh my God, OMG. So I think that's positive. Oh my God, yeah. I think that's positive.
Yes. Okay, Alasia, or if you can, somebody wants to follow up with her. I want to see if we can play it. I'm guessing we can, or at least parts of it. Let me do this super chat from Paul Wolfley.
Thanks,
and if somebody wouldn't mind pulling up A Terror on a Prairie, the video, I'll take it, or I can find it and you guys can vamp. Paul Wolfley again. Thank you. Hail, brother, for $5 says, if you haven't been called a racist, sexist, phobic, are you even capable of independent thought? This is actually a really good question. It says, if I'm not name called, I get worried. I know. And it's beginning to be one of those signs, like an overly positive score on Rotten Tomatoes. You guys, what was it? The Ricky Gervais I think it was the Netflix special, if I remember correctly,
Mhm.
where it got a 17 or a 14% critic score.
Was it that
And
low?
it got like a
Jesus.
90 something percent audience score. Where have we seen that one before, guys? It's almost like we are so in the majority, not liking this at all. What they're doing with the ESG scores, with the woke entertainment, with the intersectional feminism. It's almost like we are in the high 95% plus, that so much energy is being made to divide us, or to make us think that we are really being overrun by this woke army, this intersectional army. I'm starting to think that that's not the case. What do you think about that, Gray? We have been under an assault for a couple of years, being told to believe things that maybe weren't true. And I certainly think we're kind of seeing that in the entertainment. What do you think about that? Is that just Corey in a tinfoil hat?
Where's your tinfoil hat, Corey? Put it back on for a minute.
I actually used it to put the pizza in the oven, but I'll put it right back on.
Nice. That's a good idea. On that note, Salty, I think we talked a little bit in the green room before we started. Last night, I went on to watch some of the positive reviews of Kenobi Episode 3. I wanted to see, what the comments were about. Is it just us? Like, are people saying... Yeah. They're saying it's fantastic. Now, this is not everybody, but they're saying this is the best thing since the original trilogy. So I was like asking you, it's not just us, is it? Are we missing something? Oh, we can see the poor acting, the poor writing, the poor character development, which is when you go and watch something like Stranger Things, you see a vast difference, because that pulls you right in and you forget about, time and stuff. It's not us, is it? Is it? I'm asking the chat as well. Are we missing something or what? Because it's not just Star Wars or Star Trek as well. We keep being told, this is brilliant, it's the best thing ever.
They also told us to put some things in our body that didn't turn out to be very good for us. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The only thing Kenobi did was make me want to go back and watch the prequels.
Yes! Brilliant point, Purple.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Okay, so this is interesting because I had to go outside of YouTube to find the trailer, and it's unlisted.
No way.
On the Prairie,
Alasia, how did you get that link?
Yes, it is unlisted. I've just
on Instagram. The link she sent me was an Instagram link.
Did a friend of yours that you dance with sometimes, I'm just going to say that people might know, give you that to you? That is curious. It is very curious.
Interesting.
Let's go ahead and see what this is about. If it's unlisted, I don't know how I can get in trouble, but this wouldn't be the first time I've done something I shouldn't. I know that shocks everybody, right? All right, so we're going to kind of roll with this for a little bit, and I'm going to go full screen on this thing and stop accordingly. All right, here we go, guys. This is the new Gina Carano movie, Terror on the Prairie, not even listed on YouTube yet. Here we go. God, it's beautiful there. We need to do some transformative stuff. What do you guys think about this? I'm looking at the aspect ratio in which they shot this film, and it reminds me of Westerns from the 50s. I'm immediately taken back to movies like Hondo and John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies, where they went out of their way to make sure that you were very aware of just how beautiful and big the sky was, as well as how important the landscape was. Purple Valkyrie, you are a huge Western fan. What do you think about the first couple seconds of this thing?
I am, absolutely, and yes, it looks beautiful. Look at the color saturation, the aspect ratio that they've used. I'm really excited for this, and I was when they first announced it, and I'm so happy that we finally got a trailer for it.
I'm just making sure we're still live, you guys. Just this wouldn't be the first time I got taken out. So
do you see skies like that where you are? That's fantastic.
In Texas, yeah, it looked like that today, but I got to tell you, that looks a lot like a Montana or a Wyoming sky. And all right, let's do a couple more seconds of this thing.
You know who I am. And I have no doubt that God will forgive you. But I hate God.
is.
There she is. Oh my God.
Be careful,
Damn,
Sully.
look at
Be
that.
careful with it. Wow.
Be careful with what? What am I being careful with? I'm fine. I don't.
Don't
I'm
place
still
too
up.
long. Keep pausing.
That's all right. What are they going to do? Like ad limit me? Every live stream I do is shadow banned, including the one from today. I did a Lord of the Rings. If you cover Lord of the Rings, be prepared to be shadow banned, which I am, and also to have your ad revenue drastically cut, which I am, because of what we're covering and because of how I talk about the Lord of the Rings. It's just how it is. And like I said, you don't get rich making videos on YouTube. This is a beautiful scene that I was in Wyoming last October, and it looked just like this. It's gorgeous. All right, let's watch some more.
Are we gonna make it out here?
I know it's been hard. This is our dream, Hattie. Build a home on land we can call our own.
That is a very strong, independent, beautiful woman right there. And because we have music, I do have to jump around. So
yeah, that's right.
I'm heading to town, grabbing supplies.
Damn.
Pick up your mom down, won't you?
The cinematography on this is absolutely incredible. And I can't see what's going on in the chat, but what do you guys think? Kyle, how are you feeling about this thing?
You know what? I think it looks great. And to be honest, I would not have cast her in a Western at first, just because of how physical she is with her ability to fight hand to hand and the techniques she uses. She probably would know in the 1800s. But I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I'm excited.
Zaxx, good point.
All right, I'm going to play a little bit more.
A mighty fine morning to you, ma'am.
And to you.
Is your husband at home?
Wow.
Wait, a husband, a wife with a child? What's going on, Salty?
I know. This isn't going to hit any ESG scores, Greg.
But what we want is you.
Your father's walking into a trap. It's our turn to protect him.
This is looking good.
This
guys.
is exactly what they don't want. This is exactly what they don't want. They don't want a nuclear family. They don't want feminine women who are strong, who are good mothers. They don't want a father figure who raises their son. This is everything Hollywood hates. And I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait. Do a little bit more of it.
She is a sensible woman. Mrs. McAllister ain't cut out for this.
Deep down, you're the toughest woman in this territory.
God, it's beautiful.
Like, who's actually releasing this? This is why it's not a Hollywood mainstream movie studio, is it, that's doing this? That's why sorry.
I thought it was the Daily Caller that was doing it, but I could
Daily
be
Wire.
wrong. Daily Wire.
Yep.
Kill them all!
Damn. I am
That looks great.
damn, look, she's gonna knife a bad guy too. Hell yeah. All right. Alasia, mad points for that. I don't know how you guys in chat are feeling about it, but I am stoked about this. And it is not because I am anybody's shill or sycophant or following any whatever's popular on the larger channels. We'll just say that. I actually have a lot of respect for Gina Carano as a person. This is, I love good Westerns, and Purple Valkyrie and I talk about it all the time. And we're going to talk about Clint Eastwood later in the show, because today is actually Clint Eastwood's birthday, if you can believe that or not. It's also Marilyn Monroe's birthday, but I love a good Western. And I think the last really good Western we've gotten has been Unforgiven. So
Yes. And we've talked about this. This is one of the genres that we would love to see come back.
Salty, don't forget the remake of 310 to Yuma. That was a cracking Western.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one.
Russell Crowe,
yeah.
Christian Bale.
Bone Tomahawk.
Man.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
Bone
no, I'm not
Tomahawk.
watching Bone Tomahawk, dude. You want me to
scary.
watch people get split in half, dude? But,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I want to call out Donald Cowboy Cerrone as a UFC fighter. He's current roster fighter. So it's interesting to cast two leads who are both, high-ranking combat specialists for this movie. It'll be interesting. And Dana White is based. So
Yes, and this, because it's unlisted, it is criminally underviewed at the moment. So Salty, could we have your permission to pop it in the chat? Would that be all right if anybody wants to see
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Yeah, here I will. Yeah, hold on one second.
And while you're looking, Old Henry is a newer Western. It's also great. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Yes, well, that was a really good one.
There you go.
And you guys were talking about Open Range as well, and how good that was.
Yeah, it's a Western, I would say, sort of.
Yeah, it's
Westernish.
Westernish, yes.
Modern set.
I'll take
Western.
it.
Yeah.
Salty, you're frozen. Oh,
No, I'm not. I'm reading the chat because I was
Okay.
hoping you guys would van for me so we caught up. Are you still in the chat, Zaxx? Because I'll stay out of it and don't want to mess with your system.
I got it.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for that, A Trouble Green Alasia. It's I'm looking forward to that. And as it should be in any Western movie, you have these stars, but really the co-stars to any good Western are the Western surroundings, it in the cinematography. And again, that's one of the things the classic Westerns did. And particularly even the spaghetti Westerns from the 60s involving Clint Eastwood that were shot in Italy and Spain. They did a really good job of showing you what it was like to be in the Old West and living in South Central Texas. I can tell you it does a really good job. And of course, having driven across not just the really beautiful mountainy cool parts around Jackson and Wyoming, you start to get into southern Wyoming, it is very, very different than it is up on Jackson and Idaho too. So it is it's really wonderful to see a filmmaker compose a Western where the landscape is a star in its own film. So I'm really looking forward to this. Hail to you, Ian Selforth. It's great to see you, really. And all right, chat popped up. It's for 10 British pounds. Hail to you. Says, happy birthday to Clint Eastwood. The only man with no name whose name I know.
Nice.
Oh,
I like it.
That's poetry right there. Thank you very much, Ian Soforth. So yeah, we've been going about an hour and a half. Let's go ahead and move into the Clint Eastwood part of the show. And I didn't have a lot planned for this. What I wanted to do was look at some of his best films. And of course, this is of course due to Shill Media. But this comes to us from Studio Binder, and they wanted to look at the best of Clint Eastwood movies all time ranked for filmmakers. For me, I don't know where to start with him. I didn't like some of the more critically acclaimed recent stuff. I really did like The Man with No Name. I really liked The Outlaw Josie Wales. I liked High Plains Drifter quite a bit. I even liked Any Which Way But Loose. I thought those movies were crazy. It's Clint Eastwood with a chimpanzee, and he's a street fighter who
Clive
owns a junkyard. This is a real movie, all right? And it's like classic Clint Eastwood, right? And then of course
Clyde.
Dirty Harry. Right turn, Clyde. So yeah. But I mean, let's go ahead. Let's start with Purple Valkyrie. I guess what for you? What are your best memories of Clint Eastwood? Or when you think of Clint Eastwood, what do you think about? What comes to immediately to mind for you?
He for me will always be the grizzled Western loner character. One of my absolute favorite films is The Outlaw Josie Wales. I adore that film, but
I do too.
he is so versatile as an actor. He's known for his westerns, but if you think things like Dirty Harry, Gran Torino, Bridges Over Madison County, $1 Million Baby, all of these are fantastic films.
Let me get to this super chat. This one is from the Late Late Horror Show. Dino, I really want to work on a woo-woo video with you, and I'm going to probably start bothering you. I know you're busy. If you have not subscribed to Dino, he does the Late Late Horror Show. It is one of my favorite things on YouTube, no lie. They do old-time radio shows. He does a fantastic job of curating those experiences and talking about them. I am a major fan of we have a guest in the back, but I'm going to finish my point. Just hold your horses there, good sir. You kidnapped me the other night. I can make you wait 5 minutes. So I would love to work with you. Subscribe to the Late Late Horror Show. Check him out on Patreon because YouTube took his monetization away because that's what happens when you I'm not going to say that because mine will be taken away. Hail to you, Dino. It's great to see you. Speaking of being taken away, we have the one and only Jolly, the puppet.
Am I live?
You are live. Thanks for taking time tonight to jump on the show. How are you doing, Jolly?
This isn't StreamYard, so it feels weird.
Yeah. You know what also feels weird is getting thrown in the back of a Cadillac and abducted by your goons the other night. And then I wake up, I wake up, and then you have some crazy puppet who's humping a waifu pillow for 3 hours. And then I think, and then I think I'm getting away. And then you have Sasquatch come on your stream, and Sasquatch sounds a lot like Culture Casino, and that show would never end. And it's like, can I just say, my representation and my attorneys will be reaching out to yours, but if you just want to send me a cool box with some C notes in it, we can make this problem go away. Don't make me go the Johnny Amber route, because I will crush you in court, brother. I'm going to get that hot chick that Johnny had for an attorney, and you're going to be screwed.
I'm checking my label here. It doesn't say Everlast, so I'm not your punching bag.
Oh, well then don't kidnap me. Jolly, I'm of course kidding. It's great to have you on the show. We're talking about Clint Eastwood. Purple, I did you have anything else you want to say? I don't want to be rude and cut you off.
I just want to say hey to Johnny, the puppet with the finest mustache on YouTube. Great to see you.
It's true.
Thank you very much. Well, she
Yeah,
doesn't lie. She doesn't lie.
Well, I don't want to start. I don't want to get in the middle of a lover's tiff, but have you heard anything from Puff the dragon, who's supposed to be in rehab briefly?
Well, yeah, no, he called the first night, screaming, crying, begging me to come get him. Told him no. And, well, anyway, he's been in there for a few days now, and he sounds different. Like, he's got kind of a different voice now. It's weird. He almost sounds more like Purple. It's really strange. Anyway, he'll be back. He's hosting his show Friday, sober, mind you. And I hear Purple's going to stop by and congratulate him on his sobriety.
I am absolutely. I am incredibly proud of him. So what does a good girlfriend do? But she stands by him. Absolutely.
Right. That's a good girl right there.
I'm going to get to this super chat because I'm not actually sure I read it from the Late Late Horror Show. It says, keep up the great work, Salty, until next time. And let me do this one real quick. This one comes from Paul Wolfley again. Oh, we covered this one. So this is the one I was looking for. So from Paul Wolfley for $5 says, Aliens was a showdown between mothers. Queen Alien avenging her babies and Ripley protecting Newt. Who can say they weren't badass? Well, this is the whole point. Again, but it's one of these things where we have to stop responding to their arguments, and we I think we just kind of have to laugh at these people now. I think that's really the only way to handle some of this stuff. We have had strong independent women characters since the silent days of cinema. We really have. And I don't know what they're teaching in universities now, but apparently it's just whenever you graduate, especially with a master's or a doctorate, you are just given a hammer and told to go and smash every beautiful thing that you come across. That seems to be the only skill set imparted in universities these days. But let's talk about something a little bit happier. Jolly, we are talking about Clint Eastwood. When you think of Clint Eastwood, Jolly, what is the iconic role, or what is the movie, or what is the vibe that you get from Clint Eastwood?
Well, hang on here. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm a little distracted because Floral's live right now, and he's trying to pull off some kind of puppet council, some mini version of it. Yeah, no. You listen here, Floral. You're just one of the puppies, okay? You can't hang out with the big dogs. You stay on the porch where you belong.
Oh, is there going to be a drive-by? Am I going to get a drive-by by Canadians? Is that what's going on here? Great. Getting back to the Clint Eastwood. I mean,
Eastwood.
Solid
What?
I said you get a solid pucking. It's Canadian.
Oh,
right?
pucking.
What did you think I said?
That's why I asked. I don't know.
Right.
I thought it was an echo, but no. Jolly, when you think of obviously, Wilbur over there on the Floral from Under a Rock Show, but when you think of Clint Eastwood, what do you think? What do you feel? What's the iconic roles? What are some great performances that are memorable to you?
Well, the crazy thing about Eastwood he's transpired over multiple generations now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I can
Mm-hmm.
remember my father telling me, about all these movies he loved, Hang 'em High, Fistful of Dollars, which are, some great Pale-Faced Rider. But there's some great movies that he put out back in the old Western days when Westerns were really hot. They were like a hot commodity. Eastwood owned that category, I think. And but for me, being the next generation, the iconic role that I always think of is Unforgiven. And rightly so, because he won a lot of awards for that movie, and he directed it as well. So I really do feel like that movie says coup de grace, so to speak.
Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, I like Unforgiven, and I think it is probably one of the most perfect westerns. But for me, it goes back to The Man with No Name, For a Few Dollars More, Fistful of Dollars. Obviously, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and then The Outlaw Josey Wales. Just because I'm in that same camp as Purple when it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
that. What did you think about Gran Torino? That's not actually a movie that I've seen by Clint Eastwood. Did you watch it? What did you think?
Oh, I love that one. Get off my porch.
This was
And then
another good movie. Go
you
ahead.
got to insert a racial slur there, but I didn't
Oh
want to get your
yeah.
channel shut down. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm
Sure.
working hard enough on that as my own, so I don't. Let me
Go
do
for it, Jolly.
Yeah.
Well-
No, shut up, Zaxx. Jesus.
Where's the booty break button here?
Well, we don't have booty breaks here, regrettably, but I do enjoy them on your show. We have Lord of the Rings breaks, but I'll tell you what I'll give
All
you
right,
is I'll give you an Indiana Jones break, real quick. This
Okay.
one's for everybody who super chatted tonight. It's not booties, but it's still pretty darn good.
I'll take it.
But yeah. What about you, Zaxx? When you think of Clint Eastwood, what do you think are some of his finest performances? What do you admire in this man's incredibly long career? Is it The Bridges of Madison County?
I forgot he was in that. Yeah. I liked his spaghetti westerns, The Outlaw Josey Wales, Fistful of Dollars, Hang 'em High, Pale Rider, that whole string. And I could honestly mix them up in my head, but they're iconic, and no one can ever really go back and do what he did with those.
I was really hoping Zaxx was going to say Paint Your Wagon.
No, that is a great movie. A little more body. It's funny,
It can't sing worth a damn, but it's such a good film.
Now, Jolly, you're a pugilist. Did you appreciate $1 Million Baby? What did you think of that movie? Clint Eastwood and oh God, what's her name?
Hilary Swank.
Thank
Hang
you.
on, let me grab my dictionary. Pugilist.
It means a
Oh, right.
boxer.
I thought it was just
boxer.
me.
Boxer. Yeah, boxer.
Oh, yeah. No, $1 Million
You're from
Baby
the
was
streets?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am very pimpish, yes.
Well, there you go. But anybody else in the panel, did you see $1 Million Baby? Because I've tried to watch it and I just couldn't get into it. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe.
It was good, I thought. Hilary Swank is not like exactly my favorite actress. She actually played in one of the Karate Kid movies, I think.
Yes, she did.
She
I think
did.
two. Yeah, or three.
Or
I don't
four.
remember.
4.
I was close. What about you, Purple? I mean, female representation, female boxers. Did you like $1 Million Baby? I mean, when you think of Clint Eastwood, is this a movie that comes to mind?
I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites, but I did actually really like the film, and I'm not a massive boxing fan, but I really love the relationship that the two of them had, and this film also had Morgan Freeman in as well.
Oh, well, true.
But I was surprised, and it is a very touching film. You don't expect it to be.
It's very moving, very emotional film, almost too sad and too depressing for me. Sorry.
That's why I couldn't watch
Great
it.
performances.
It is. It's dark.
So Clint Eastwood did some really wild things in the 70s, including the Dirty Harry movies going into the 80s, and then, of course, Escape from Alcatraz. Now, Escape from Alcatraz was a critical and a box office hit at the time. Did you guys ever see that, or are you familiar with it? I mean, or is it just one of those, because it's not a Western or anything, that just kind of flies under your radar?
Yeah, I saw it on TV when I was a kid, and it freaked me out because there's a certain scene in there to do with is it fingers and thumbs with an artist?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everybody knows the Dirty Harry movies.
Mhm.
I think they're fantastic. They were a product of the time, certainly. He then did some movies like In the Line of Fire, I think, where he
Oh.
played a Secret Service agent who was on duty when Kennedy got shot and felt guilty about it, and was actually where he was aging, where they started to show him actually aging gracefully. Which then brings us back to the spaghetti westerns, A Fistful of Dollars, which to me is one of the finest westerns ever made. It's probably a cancelable offense right now if we're honest about it. And then Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry, so good, Sophie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them all. Even the sequels, I love them.
Jolly, how do you feel about Dirty Harry? Is Dirty Harry one of those like instant sit down and watch movies, or are within the Clint Eastwood lexicon, is this one of his most iconic roles to you? I mean, you're a pimp, you're from the streets. How do you
Right.
view a cop like that with who's got a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun ever made?
Now, Dirty Harry was the sequel, I thought. It wasn't the first one like Maximum Force or Mega Force or
I thought it was Maximum Force. I thought that's what it was.
something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I do know one of these movies. I can't remember which one, but it
Mhm.
has that iconic line of "Go ahead and make my day." And if that iconic line has been stapled to Clint Eastwood's chest now for decades. So,
Mhm.
if there's any movie that made the man, this is probably, or role, I should say, this is it. Mhm.
Yeah, I remember this scene where I think he's ordering food and he sees a bank robbery across the street
Forward as Harry himself.
and
Something like
proceeds
that.
to proceeds to take care of most of the bank robbers except for one who he wounds, and that of course is where that iconic scene in Dirty Harry. I don't remember how many in all this excitement how many I fired. Was it 5 or was it 6? So truly iconic role. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get to the top 2 according to them. And there it is, Unforgiven. Absolutely classic Western.
Yay.
Great
Just
film.
absolutely amazing. I saw this in the theater when it came out. The cinematography was absolutely stunning. And you can see parallels to what they were doing with the Gina Carano film, where it's so important to have the visuals and the characteristics of the landscape in your movie. It really, really is. But I mean, look at some of these scenes where the darkness, especially at night, and Clint Eastwood sitting around the fire. It's just, it's a beautiful movie. The cinematography is outstanding. Again, you can see the aspect ratio in a good Western movie. Like look at
Yes.
that. That is a classic scene.
And again,
Great
it had a
cast.
really great cast. Exactly, that's what
Oh,
I was going
yeah,
to say. Great.
incredible.
Yeah, it was Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman again, and Richard Harris, I think, as well,
Richard
was
Harris,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious about number 1 now, Salt. You got me really curious. What?
I know.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just going to look at it. I'm watching
I
some
already
of this.
know. I already know what it is.
I think I
Ooh.
know
Uh-oh.
too.
It's Pink Cadillac.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. What was her name?
No,
I can
Bridges of
see
Madison
her.
County. Come on.
Oh,
No, what was her name? That co-star. Oh God, I forgot.
I got a
Play
great
Misty for me.
story. Great story about Pink Cadillac. One of my very first dates I ever went on. I was like 13 years old. The girl I was taking out to the movies. We were supposed to go see Indiana Jones. It was the third one. Indiana
Oh
Jones.
yeah. The
Right.
Last Crusade.
Right. We were supposed to go see that. We
Yep.
had heard already it was an amazing movie, right? And then her parents wanted to go along, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll just sit on the other side of the theater." We're like, "No, we got to have our own theater." So we went and saw Pink Cadillac instead. It was horrible, terrible.
I mean, Pink Cadillac was one of those movies, and I want to say it was 85, maybe it was 86.
No, I'm not that old. Let's see. It had to
Was
have
it
been
87?
no, it's about the same year Terminator 2 came out. I
89, 1989.
want to say 90, 89 or 90. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds right.
All right. Well, I totally blew that then.
So maybe I
Yeah,
was 12. Either way, I didn't get any
yeah.
action after the movie. guys.
Well,
None.
yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Not even a handshake.
Yeah, that movie actually was a box office failure, and Jolly was probably one of the 24 people in the United States who saw it, and it didn't get him any action, which is the whole reason to go out on a date as a teenager.
Right.
When you're a boy
Well,
anyway. But
preteen.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So the number one movie according to the filmmakers, is of course the classic, the iconic Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It is, I think is it Ennio or Encio Moreni who did the soundtrack?
Morricone.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. I get I'm just a dumb Yank, but the music. What? I'm a dumb Yank. But
Love
you guys are gonna be like, what? I'm a dumb Yank. What's funny about that? Anyway, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. And I'm gonna let Zaxx go first on this. Tell me about the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Is this something you shared intergenerationally? Do you share this with your son? How do you feel about this one, Zaxx?
I actually just watched. I'd say the second half of it because I caught my kid watching it on, and so I just joined him. He was watching it on his own, so I'm pretty proud of that. It's a great film. I'm kind of surprised, like I'm not surprised by the number one pick here, but he's done a lot of non-westerns that were actually fairly highly rated, like Heartbreak Ridge. I thought was
yeah.
a great film he was in, and Where Eagles Dare. That's a bit of an older one.
I loved Eagles Dare, a World War II movie with Richard Burton,
Yep.
if I remember correctly.
I think that's
absolutely fantastic movie where they go behind Nazi enemy lines, like real Nazis, not just people who don't like Star Wars.
This is BS. I'm sorry. Unforgiven was better because you had Gene Hackman in there giving one of the greatest performances he has ever given. I got to call BS on this.
I hated Gene Hackman in that movie. He was such a...
That's why he was so good.
Yeah.
He was such a despicable bastard. I mean, he really was.
Morgan Freeman. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, what they did to Morgan Freeman, that's what I mean. Like it was that it captured that it demystified the Western. And in a lot of ways, people blamed Unforgiven for that interesting depiction of what it was really like and demystifying some of the icons. But this is back before the deconstruction went off the rails, and this came out, I believe, Unforgiven was like 91. 92 it came out.
92,
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it in an art theater when I was in college, and it was very unique to its time. But I can see why you feel that way, Jolly, because it was absolutely a masterful movie. I like some of my movies though to be not deconstructed, and maybe part of it is in the last 30 years we've seen so much deconstruction that I'm just going back to the origin stuff, to the original, where it's like not diluted. But on its own, you're right. Unforgiven is absolutely incredible. What about you, Purple Valkyrie? In your love of Clint Eastwood, where does the Good and the Bad and the Ugly fall?
I love this film, if only for the iconic Mexican standoff scene. Everybody knows that scene, but I think of the Dollars trilogy, this is probably my favorite of them. But it is hard to choose between all of them because they are so good.
And Tuco is this. It's a complicated character who you see him. He's a villain. He is a multiple felon. Multiple times they read off all of the horrifying things that he's done, and he's wanted. And if he's caught by the law, he's going to get hanged. And yet you come to sympathize with Tuco, even after he almost kills Clint Eastwood by making him walk in the desert without any water. And then they end up working together, and just it is such an amazing movie. It is just amazing. Anything else on that, Purple Valkyrie?
I just if you haven't seen any of these films, and not just the westerns, but any of Clint Eastwood's films recently, and he has just turned 92, so I hope he was with us for some time yet to come. But he has such an accomplished career, and over the years they've tried to cancel him, and he just will not roll over. So I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gray, what about you? Well, I guess where are you at with the Good and Bad, the Ugly? Was this something that you really enjoyed? I mean, and that's the interesting thing. I mean, I've watched these movies as an American and a Yank, and so we have our Civil War history. Was it interesting to you, you both being from the UK, to see some of the American Old West? I mean, I really should ask that question too, Gray. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the Western genre so interesting for for people who aren't from the States, people from Europe as well. Yeah, I love it. Of course, it's a classic. It's full of amazing one-liners in there. And I'm not quite sure, guys, and Purple as well, is Klaus Kinski in this one? I know he's in one of the spaghetti westerns with Clint. We were talking about him before, Klaus Kinski, the crazy German actor who's been Nosferatu for one. Was he in this one?
I don't
think
so.
he was in this
maybe
one.
it was
No.
for a few dollars more. Or, but there's a great scene with him where it's like... Oh,
I think it was a few dollars more because that's the crazy one where it's the crazy guy where it's almost like they're doing the LSD thing, but they can't say it's LSD like in a Western. It was so trippy and weird, you know, but yeah.
So we've got Lee Van Cleef and is it Eli Wallace?
Eli Wallach.
Wallach. Yeah. Sorry, somehow you guys got... Sorry, the chat somehow got bounced out. I don't know how that happened. Restream is acting weird, guys. Sorry about that. But I didn't get to any comments about Westerns, and I feel bad about that, guys.
My
did
favorite
I miss...
is still the outlaw Josie Wales.
Okay.
Says Dave Bob in the chat.
Yes, absolutely.
We got Taker610 asked the question for $2. Trivia. What was Clint Eastwood's first film? Ooh.
I know.
Credited or uncredited? Yes.
Well, that's tricky.
What was the Western TV series back in the day?
Did they make
Rawhide.
pornos back then?
Rawhide. Well, it would be film. So they're asking the film unless this is a trick question.
Well, it was some kind of porno, wasn't it? No, that was Stallone.
That was Stallone. It was the Italian Stallion. Yeah, it was Stallone.
Right.
Yeah.
Meet the Feebles. Snowden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Peter Jackson. Nice. Does anybody know? Does he give the answer down farther in the chat, you guys? Because I can't. I'm going to go to the very end of the chat. It's a trick question. The answer to Unbearable says the answer to that is a trick question. Dave Bob said Equalizer says the creature walks among us. Another one says Revenge of the Creature.
Oh.
Are you guys just messing with us? Probably.
I don't know.
I believe it. The monster movies in the 50s were making them in droves after the success of The Mummy and of course Creature from the Black Lagoon. You had the werewolf movies, which holds a special place in Purple's heart. The werewolf. I've done deepfakes of you as a werewolf before.
Yes, you have.
And yeah. But go ahead.
I got one thing about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's if you ever want to get a song stuck in your head, an earworm, Google The Ecstasy of Gold. Listen to that tune.
Which movie is that? Which movie is that from?
I think it's from Good, Bad, and the Ugly, I think.
Oh, there are so many good ones in that, actually.
Yep.
In Angel Eyes, talk about, like, if you look at the characters of a Western based on, let's say, Dungeons and Dragons classes, I always thought Angel Eyes was the perfect manifestation of lawful evil, where it's very hard to get an absolutist evil character, and Angel Eyes in a lot of ways was just perfectly textbook old school Dungeons and Dragons lawful evil, you know. And then you've got Clint Eastwood, who to me was chaotic good, and then you had Tuco, who kind of was chaotic evil, but was mostly just chaotic neutral and very mercenary. So I don't know, maybe that's just growing up as a teenager playing Dungeons and Dragons, but just from an iconic standpoint, that's the way I looked at those characters. So has anyone seen Hang 'em High? Oh wait, I bounced you out. I'm sorry. You and I double clicked. So
we've got Thad coming up with the facts again here.
So he says, this is from Matt, says Salty, he has 4 films in 1955. I knew it. Revenge of the Creature was the first one that was released, but not the first one that was filmed. Wow. And this is why the Thad that shouldn't be is the Thad that shouldn't be, otherwise known as Unbearable 73. Please give his channel a sub. That's a hell of a good trivia question and a hell of a good answer. Thank you for that. Yeah. And let me get to this one. I don't know why Restream is acting weird, guys. I'm sorry. High Plains Drifter. I absolutely love that movie.
Great,
I love that movie because there's nothing like a good piece of hickory. Love that scene. Love that scene. Clint Eastwood takes out, 6-8 bad guys with 6 guns with just an axe handle. And like it ain't no thing. Just
yes. I'm going to bring it back to this side of the pond and add Where Eagles Dare as well.
It's such a good movie. It is. I actually own that on DVD, the remastered version. It is a brilliant movie, and I am a huge fan of World War II movies because I used to watch them with my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, and that was one of the movies he really liked. And I don't know why exactly, but he wasn't a big fan of John Wayne, but he really liked Clint Eastwood, which is interesting. What about you, Jolly? I mean, how you? Is there one Western where, let's say, besides Unforgiven, that if you could only take, if Unforgiven didn't exist, what would be the go-to Western for you from Clint Eastwood?
From Clint, God, there's a few good ones.
I know.
I would probably say Outlaw Josie Wales. I think was probably my next favorite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that one's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah. Well, Jaden Hamilton has got to say goodnight. Brother, it was great to see you. Jaden is going to be going to college soon. Congratulations on that. Thank you for being such a supporter of my channel, of Purple Valkyrie's channel, of Nerdporial, of Zaxx, of Gray's channel. And I hope that maybe you will check out the adult puppet entertainment now that you are of age appropriate to on Snowdub's channel, because Snowdub does some absolutely fantastic stuff. So Ian,
Don't lie, Salty. Come on now.
Dude, I'm trying to get you subs. I'm trying to get you subs. Ian Soforth says, Jolly sounds a lot like Jeff Goldblum, and I've never seen them. It just popped up. I've never seen them in the same room. So, yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yep. And Taker 610, and I need to jump around, you guys. Thank you for being patient. Thank you, Zaxx. Taker 610 gives us another $2. Thank you. Really, you guys, thank you for the super chat. It says, it is Revenge of the Creature starring John Agar. Now I want to watch Revenge of the Creature. We need to do a show where we just talk about classic monster movies. There's another YouTube creator out there, OBG70, if you're still in the chat. He's going to be starting a classic monster sort of a show. So I would love to talk about that. But I love a lot of those cheesy drive-in movie theater movies like, The Blob and Revenge of the Thing and all those
classic
other things.
B-movies.
Because in a lot of ways, it was the precursor to the much more elegant, big-breasted, good stories of Hammer horror. You know what I mean?
Well
I got
done.
Jolly's juices going because I was talking about booty on that. He's like, wait, big boobs, where are they? Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But Jolly, I mean, do you have a place in your heart for those kind of classic 50s horror movies, or are you a Hammer horror guy? I know how much you love The Thing. But like, how do you feel about like those 50s classic horror movies that are out there?
Well, I like 50 classic titties, that's for sure.
I do too. Sophia Loren. What is it? Gina Lollobrigida.
Marilyn Monroe. Let's see.
Marilyn Monroe.
Anyway, yeah. What was the question? Sorry, titties. What?
I think you answered it. Actually,
no. I'm a big fan of 80s horror. I am, but I do like the legends. Like Dracula. Mummy and all. Frankenstein. All those that came out back in the day. I haven't watched any of those in a long time. But I got a lot of respect for like classics like Nosferatu and stuff like that kind of set the mold and kind of got the horror genre going. So I have respect for all genre of horror, but 80s is probably my expertise.
Yeah. And Mike OBG70, Speak of the Devil, he's the one who's going to be starting that classic monster stream, which I look forward to working with Mike on. Mike was one of the first people I ever streamed with, and a really good dude. Check him out, give him a sub. He says, Every Which Way But Loose is the ultimate Eastwood movie. Interesting story. A movie like that has more female nudity than you would probably get in an R-rated movie right now, and it was PG in the 80s because we weren't all weak. We weren't weak and triggerable because we had to work for a living, and we also only had two genders back then, but that's a whole other story. But I remember my parents took me to go see Every Which Way But Loose, and there's drinking and there's smoking and there's naked chicks, and it's like people are fighting. And then I love the movie, except it was full of country and Western music, which at the time I couldn't stand.
At my house? It sounds like
Jolly.
Normal Thursday night.
Well, were you listening to a lot of honky tonk music, or were you dropping the block rock and beats?
Oh no! Last night we were doing Sir Mix-a-Lot and Vanilla Ice. It was
yeah.
throwback night. Yeah.
No, I was there. I was dropping you super chats last night, brother. But yeah.
Good
Yeah.
God, that stream would never end. Jesus.
I know, dude. I'm sorry. I had to go to bed when Sasquatch came on again, and it was nothing against Sasquatch. I was just like, I had to, got to work.
You see what Nico Glock did? He pretty much
I did.
financed a small country last night.
Yeah, and Nico's a member of my channel. He's at the highest level at Taveran, but he just walked in the room, threw $100 down, and I think he said "F you" to everybody, and that was all he said in his message. So yeah,
the first one.
Yeah. Oh, Salty Texas C, Salty Lord Bathomat requests to be on the show now.
No,
well, Lord,
no,
Lord,
he's not allowed. He's in violation, and I'm gonna fine him.
Zaxx and would you guys or Purple and Jolly, would you guys carry the show for a second? I need to get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny that you guys were talking about boobies, and I think Salty mentioned Marilyn Monroe, and it's actually Marilyn Monroe's birthday as well, and another screen icon that we sadly lost.
Yeah, way too early. I don't even think she was she 30 yet? I think maybe just 30. She was young.
She was young, absolutely, but I really liked her. I have a kind of guilty pleasure for her films. A lot of people say she was a terrible actress, but I don't think she was, and I think she was much smarter than a lot of people gave her credit for.
Had a lot of presence, amazing presence on screen. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, and I was always very jealous. I always wanted to wear that dress that she wore when she sang "Happy Birthday."
You should wear it. You should wear it.
I think I have to lose about 40 pounds to get into that.
No. That's a verbal contract.
You can DM.
I'm gone for 1 minute, and somebody's signing Purple Valkyrie up to do what? What's going on, guys?
He's just about to send me some DMs here, some pics, so I can.
You're ruining everything, Salty.
Yeah, Salty. Yeah, okay, be quiet. Salty's back. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I came back from my show. I'm sorry to get in the way of your business transactions. Holy cow! It's like I came back and it turned into Jeffrey's Island over here. I don't even know what's going on. Lord Bathomat, check your DMs.
Professional opinion. That was all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've got a member chat from Brandon, the anime guy here. Do you want me to read it?
You. Please go ahead, Zaxx.
Holy cow! Been around a while already, enjoying the content and all around. Hail all and see you around the interwebs.
Hail to you, Brandon, the anime guy. Thank you for becoming a Taveran. You've been doing some great work with Purple Valkyrie. Your anime streams are awesome. I'm still overwhelmed. I really am. But I would love to maybe come on one of your streams and you just pick one thing. Just one thing, and then talk to me slowly about it so that I don't run screaming away. It's just right? I'm a noob to anime. Like I watched Akira back in the 80s on VHS tape, and I watched some of these 70s stuff, right? But in this case, it just seems so daunting when there's like 180 different versions of something like My Hero Academia and all those.
Can I give you a recommendation, Salty? From a guy who doesn't watch a lot of anime, but I know a few great ones. Yeah. Check out the movie Ninja Scroll. If you watch that movie, yes, Ninja Scroll. If you watch that movie, and if you aren't hooked at that point after that movie, like you want to see more after that, then you're just not for anime. Because that movie is just pure excellence.
Is that? It's great. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, just the movie. I think they made a series as well, but the series isn't as good. Yeah, but the movie's an absolute classic. Nice one, Jolly. Nice one.
Awesome. So apparently this show is being sponsored by Bed Bath & Beyond, and we have a.
Wait, what?
Oh wait! No, wait a minute. I didn't say that other guy could come on the show. I just said Lord Bathmat could come on the show.
Oh no!
You guys.
What's wrong with the other guys?
Oh, this show just went right down the shitter.
Oh no! We all have to come. It's only fair.
Stranger Things vibes here, guys.
You have to get the troll. You have to bring the troll in.
I have officially lost control of this show, and apparently I need to also let this puppet on too. So
you're all fine. Listen here, Wilbur. You are not allowed to hold that council today. You did not check in with the proper management. I'm holding you in contempt.
Snowdog.
You're not my mom.
Jolly. if you keep this up, I'm gonna strap you to the chair, and you're gonna watch another season of Batwoman.
Ah, God.
I'm glad that's
All
all
right,
you
let
were
me
gonna say.
let me get to this super chat, and it's great to see the Bathmath, and then you've got that that guy
Hi there.
who looks
Shut
like
it
a
down now,
pet.
Salty, before it's too late.
Yeah, and how many people got links to this show? Am I
Oh,
being
I don't
rated?
know. How many? How many did I give it to? Why would I be so evil?
Salty, what's going
Is it a
on?
troll thing or is it a demon
Oh
thing? That's the
my
question.
god! I am never giving you a link ever again. And look who we have here, Gator. How are you doing? Oh my god, Gator, how's your girlfriend? The waifu pillow. And Punk, I see Punk Waddle, but I don't see. The. Oh my god, we are.
Punk Waddle, how you doing?
Wow, this is
Punk Waddle's here.
wow,
Punk Waddle.
So
Meat puppets
Gator,
are in control
have you recovered from your anime convention with the pillow humping and whatever drug fueled mayhem that was?
Hello to all of my fans.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Salty, you made me into a puppet sandwich. Thank you for that.
I'm sorry. What do I need
Anime's
to do?
quite.
You made me into a puppet
going on?
sandwich.
Yes. Oh, I did. Oh, jeez. Wow.
Delicious.
Well, all right.
Could you move me closer to purple? Just put her in the middle, and that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll put purple in the. Wait, here we go. Here we go. Just
You
Yes.
disgusting puppet.
incredibly
Incredibly
uncomfortable.
between your legs.
Yes.
Wow. So normally we talk about things. I've had my show called it's like the NPR of pop culture, which I kind of take as a sign. We have now turned into the Skinamax version of my show. So, Jolly, why don't you help me wrangle some of these puppets and maybe ask them some of the questions you'd like to ask? Let me ask Lord Baphomet. Do you have a favorite Clint Eastwood movie?
Oh, well, let's see. I really like High Plains Drifter. I thought that one was really fun, especially because he taints the town red and calls it hell. Of course I like that one.
God.
Yeah.
What about you, Wilton? What's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie?
Gran Torino, because he plays the best racist ever.
True.
Great point.
Gator, I'm afraid to ask, but what is your favorite Clint Eastwood movie, Gator?
He'd be dead Harry. He'd be Dirty Harry for all the bodies.
Oh, Dirty Harry is great. I love that guy. He writes me all the tickets. I mean, he fills me up with bullet holes, but you know.
Punk Waddle, what's your favorite? What's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie?
Whatever one he says, "Hey there, punk, you feel lucky." Because, every time anyone tells me, "Hey, punk," in chat, I just think they're saying, I think they're just talking in Clint Eastwood's voice. So
that's the one I just said. That was Dirty Harry.
Yeah, I like Dirty Harry.
You like that one?
Yeah, punk. I do.
You're all dirty and hairy.
So are you, Jolly.
You didn't have to say
Jolly,
that.
you look like a lollipop someone dropped in a barber shop.
That's not true. I smell like the best prostitutes on the south side.
Yeah.
Know what that cheap cologne is?
The bad case of
Speaking
that's what that is.
Jolly, I the south side, and let's just say the women there, well, I'm just saying you have a certain
talking.
taste.
You guys need to shut up. He was trying to say something.
I was just gonna say.
Salty was talking.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
Salty, go ahead.
I forgot what the hell I was gonna say.
No, I got something here, guys. Listen.
Well,
Listen.
you did. I was talking and I interrupted you.
Dave Bob is now a member. And
Oh,
Dave Bob, if
hail to
you
you.
want a refund, quick.
Yeah,
Now.
I'd agree with that.
Hey, Dave Bob.
Hail, Dave Bob. Welcome to this beautiful madness. And speaking of beautiful madness, I have more things on the screen than I think I have ever done before. Bear with me 1 second.
They're here to see us. We're more popular.
Say how cute Lord Baphomet is. He's adorable.
I know.
Oh, thank you, Purple. Does this mean I can be on your show
Alright.
too?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Him.
No.
I'm next to Zaxx
All right.
now.
Let's go
Joey,
ahead.
stop it.
Here we go. Let's go ahead and get the puppets where they belong and get Purple uncomfortably in the middle. And we'll put me at the bottom.
Ah,
There
A
we
lot
go.
of people would
So-
pay to be in that position. Yes.
I know. I know.
You know.
We are literally like one membership away from an OnlyFans site that probably would land us all on the Interpol list.
I'm soft. I'm cuddly. I'm a little horny.
Hey,
Join
Wilton,
now. You could be the one.
Can you get that cow to do the OnlyFans if we succeed?
Salty, what are you rating this thing? Because like these guys have like derailed you.
Yeah.
So,
that's
why
okay.
did they call you-
Wilbur, you weren't even supposed to have a cotton council today, so you just settle down over there, Wilfred.
While I have this star-studded, all-star President Biden approved panel to review,
What?
to just roll with it, guys. All right, I'm going.
Joe Biden is a puppet.
I
so
would
he approves
love
of us.
to have your reaction as puppets to the new images dropped for the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
What?
She looks hot, but it's not Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Like the ring.
Wait.
Have at it. Have at it, guys.
Salty. You have to verify one thing because I'm a little I'm a goblin. I'm not too familiar with elves. Is that a woman or a man?
I don't know. She's
She's
got her
think
legs
so.
spread
I
like-
always think so, but I end up sleeping with them, and then whang, a surprise.
Hey, I'm a goat. I don't really care. As long as it's got holes, I'm fine.
Oh my God! Have I taught you
my
guys
goodness.
nothing? I've taught him nothing, Salty.
He's
you gotta give him a gender
clearly
check.
served in the Middle East.
Gender
I
check
can
him.
tell.
I have a question. I'm raising my hand slightly, because is this a TV show about that Ring movie where the lady pops out of the TV? Because that's the vibes I'm getting from this.
Ooh.
Listen, boys and girls.
Is that
listen,
Ring
listen.
movie? I like that
You
Ring
spend
movie.
this much time with a hand up your ass, and everything goes after that.
All right, put a sock in it, Beth Matt. Okay, listen.
Wow.
Have you guys ever
Yeah.
seen the blood sport? You know when Van Damme drops down to the splits, he does that thrusting punch right up in that guy's ball sack? We call that a gender check. That's what you do next time, Gator. That way you don't get a surprise.
I'm here. I'm just waiting for a chance to talk on my own show. That's okay.
Jolly, you identified it?
Jolly,
Is it a male?
Jolly, let's not forget. It lubricates itself.
Oh, that's it. Shut it down. Shut it down now.
I was totally gonna sleep.
So, does anybody have any interest in
I put all my XP in charm. They charmed that thing, and then it turned on again.
Yeah.
So this apparently,
I mean,
for those of you,
the gay door to do.
Gator. Gator, shut up.
Let the Salty take. I'm the sheriff
This
of
is why
town,
nobody
and I
likes you.
demand that you respect Salty on the stream for like 5 seconds.
that's okay.
I
Why
don't
start
feel
now?
bad for
Why
Salty
start
at
now?
all.
Yeah,
He brought
fair enough.
these crazy assholes on the show.
Actually, I didn't. Actually, I gave the link to one person, and now I've got the entire short bus decided to come and park in my
That's-
front yard. Apparently, so
It's
Wilbur
biology that I'm only
Wilbur did it.
football.
This is the most exciting your show has ever been, Salty. Admit it.
Now I feel
Yeah,
stupid.
he's got a point there, I guess.
yeah, that's the story we're going with. Anyway, we got these new images from the Lord of the Rings. I did a really good in-depth video on this, but I wanted to see what puppets thought about this. We got the strong, independent woman who's sitting there with her legs spread wide open with a dagger phallically around her vagine, and now here we are. And I wanted to see, are you guys excited about watching Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power?
My only question is what that handle of that dagger smells like.
Okay, Gaff. Okay, so here's can I give a
Salty,
genuine
is this a
perspective?
smash or pass kind of situation?
Let's do smash or pass. Let's just go.
Okay,
Let's make
yeah,
this
smash.
easy on me. Smash or pass. All right, Gator wants to smash. Jolly, would you smash or pass?
I wouldn't even touch her with your peen, Salty. What's wrong with this? Shut it down before these puppets make your complete channel get taken out. You're going to get unmonetized, I swear.
That's okay. Punk Waddle, pass or smash. The Gladriel from the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
Man spreading is a crime. Pass.
Lord Baphomet, smash or pass. Gladriel from the Rings of Power.
Hold on a second. Let me check real quick.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
definitely smash. Definitely smash.
You didn't listen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My
Wilton
man.
pass. Wilton
My man.
pass or smash. Wilton pass or
Come
smash.
on, brother. You know you want to.
Pass.
Okay.
Oh, you would totally smash that, Wilton. Trolls and elves, come on. You're almost the same species.
Okay.
Well, I'd smash her, but it's different than like smash her, if you know what I mean.
So that was an easy one.
Okay,
Prepare.
Warming up.
Prepare yourselves for this. Pass or smash.
Oh, God, no. There's some things even I won't touch, Salty.
I told you the first one's easy. It gets harder from here, and it doesn't get any easier after this, guys. Pass or smash.
Okay, only if they bring food. Only if they bring food. Total smash.
Gator. So Gator's in. What about you, Jolly? Pass or smash?
I didn't know you were into that, Gator.
My question
You're
is,
muted,
do you
Jolly.
have to do both of them?
Muted, Jolly.
Yes.
You're still muted,
It's
Jolly.
a package deal.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Sorry, I'm not used to your weird setup here. Okay.
Yeah, it's Restream. I know.
Yeah. No,
Pass or
I
smash?
had a question. Which one's the man? Or do we know?
You, yeah.
The one with the beard, even though they should both have beards.
It's the fat one, Jolly, the fat one.
Right. Okay. What was the question again?
Pass or smash? Would you pass or smash on Princess Diza?
Oh, I would pass this in a Lamborghini going 150.
200. 300 maybe.
Personally, I
What
would
about
drive
you?
over her. Woo!
Yes, that would be the
But
best
then-
option.
But then you'd still have your way with her after you ran her over, Gator. I know how you roll. Punkwaddle, what
course.
about you? Pass or smash,
Well-
Princess Diza?
Put her on a motorboat.
Dwarves are a little closer to penguin height, but I'd still have to pass that.
Wow. Lord Baphomet, pass or smash on Princess Diza?
Oh, no. At best, I would get them to clean up the latrines, but never smash the help.
What about you, Wilton the Troll? Pass or smash on Princess Diza?
If he came up to my bridge, I'd say just go. Just go.
All right. What about you, Purple Valkyrie, for Durin? What do you think? Would you pass or smash on Durin?
I'm gonna have to pass. I will leave him with Deezer, but I would probably smash Galadriel if I could get that armor.
Oh.
Off the kind of-
I like that a little. I like that purple.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Very, very good. Now, what was oh, yeah. Gray, who's hiding and not on camera anymore? Pass or smash, Princess Diza?
I never thought we'd get hijacked by the cast of Meet the Feebles. That's all I can say,
Sometimes you just
Salty.
have to embrace the horror and just hang on.
This is
to it.
fantastic.
call you
This is the best
Wakizashi?
the best stream I've ever been on in my life. Thank you.
I am so sorry.
Look-
I am so sorry.
Look,
Pass.
great. Lord Bathmat is asking you a question. You want to go ahead, Lord Bathmat, and ask him that
Yes.
question?
Why do they call you Wakizashi? Are you a samurai?
Because my sword is short. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's really long.
Oh, you heard of me.
Oh, okay. You're
Wait a
playing
minute.
that game.
Are you trying to
Yep.
be like the last samurai, like Tom Cruise? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, that's what he's totally going for.
I think he wants to be the Last Samurai 2 since, Top Gun 2 did so well this weekend.
Grace
Good
is
point.
taller than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I heard Purple
It's
and
a good death. It's a good
fan of
death.
Tom Cruise.
Well,
Zaxx-
I'm in Japan, guys. I'm in
A couple
Japan.
of swords around
I'm
here.
gonna have to head overseas and challenge this guy.
Oh, you're in Japan.
Yeah.
Don't forget your
So
tape
it's
measure,
like
buddy.
lunchtime over there, isn't it?
Just saying. Bring your tape measure.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Is there more pictures here, Salty? Or are you gonna?
Yes, there are. Once we get through Zaxx, pass or smash, Princess Diza.
Smash.
Oh,
Yeah.
Someone's got to take one for the team, right?
Hey, our
Zaxx.
Canadian brother.
Zaxx, you're cold and lonely in Canada, aren't you?
Zaxx has more honor than all of us. That's all I'm going to
It's
say.
true.
That's right.
It's true.
If you're going to be a
It's true.
wingman, you have to be a wingman all the way.
It's true.
Right?
Well,
It's true.
I am a wingman.
100%.
Okay,
Nathan-
so it only
Nathan the
gets
chat.
worse. It only gets worse from here.
Beer goggle time, boys.
Ooh.
Pass or smash?
Whoa! Hobbits! Hobbits!
Henry, what are you
Okay.
doing?
I can't tell what gender they are.
Here's the thing.
That's probably by design.
Here's the thing. I did ask about food on the first one, but food is definitely important on this one.
Yeah.
100%. Ever
Yeah.
been to a Hobbit feast?
Hey,
Super
hey, guys.
delicious.
Hey guys, if you look at this like upside down, it looks like what Amber Heard did.
Are All right, let's proceed on through this, and then we will grind to a halt. I promised
I see
Purple
it.
I would only go 2 hours, but you wonderful people showed up. So,
I'm so
Gator,
sorry.
pass or smash any of the hobbits, all 3 of them, pass or smash.
Well, normally I would pass, but if they bring enough, good wine and food, I mean, I could see myself, sipping on a Mickey. So
I expected
a
nothing
soft
less.
pass. That was a soft pass and a hard smash.
Gator, that strange man is sitting next to you. We can see him on camera.
Yeah, the white boy's here again. Get that white boy out of here.
Get that
Jolly,
mug out of your picture, Gator.
Yeah.
Jolly, would you like to make?
Here's the thing. The puppet hand is a little sore, so he's going lefty today.
Ah.
Oh, I switch it
his
all
right,
the time.
His right arm is. Oh yeah, well now.
Just gotta keep
Jolly-
your puppet hand strong.
Right.
Jolly, would you like to be the puppet meat in that hobbit sandwich?
No, not necessarily. But I was looking at my roster of prostitutes. I do not have a hobbit.
Yeah.
So, I like to hit that specialty market. So I do need a hobbit on the payroll. Put them on the host row. Make me some chips. Let's do some flips.
For all this talk about checking boxes, there you go.
We'll put a wig on that pig and make her do a jig.
You've got that
There
foot
you go.
fetish side as well. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. You
Hairy
guys,
feet.
wait, I want to see if this changes your opinion. Oh, wait, they blocked it. Hold on.
For good reason.
So these
There
are
we
the
go.
hobbits' feet. These are the hobbits' feet. Does
I
that
mean,
turn you on or change your answer at all, Jolly? That the feet.
Well, what that means is they'll definitely do a lot of walking down the streets and make me a lot of money. They got big
Come on.
Baphomet, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna wring you out and put you back underneath the sink where you belong.
Just so long as you wash me.
Yeah.
You didn't do that last time. Left me all sticky and crusty, and it was just nasty.
So you know you liked it.
What you do in your personal time is none of my business. But Punkwaddle, would you pass or smash?
They were role playing Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that I think hobbits are really close to dwarf size. So still closer to me, but just not feeling it. You
don't want the special needs looking hobbit.
come
over
on.
here. You don't want the.
You would totally do the 2 towers on here.
When you put it that
needs, I
way,
like that.
Come on.
I do have a type, and I don't think that's it.
Okay, Lord Baphomet.
Come on.
Lord Baphomet, would you pass or smash any of these hobbits? All 3 of them. What's your position?
Well, Salty, I don't want to get you demonetized, but they look too close to children for me, and I don't do that kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
He doesn't work for Disney.
No, I don't work for Disney.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, Wilton. Pass
The
or
only
smash.
grooming I do is on my fur.
Oh, that's true.
Well, true. Yes, thank God. Pass or smash, Wilton, on the hobbits.
You see this is a rod, okay? So like what you can do with this is when you see those guys, you can take that rod and just like jam it into your eye. And just like it feels a lot better.
Give them the good old
I took a
Eye
turn.
of Sauron.
I mean, I know trolls and hobbits don't get along,
It
but
got dark. It got
Brutal.
dark.
I got
I mean,
dark.
It's really dark now. I can't see nothing. I think it's dark.
why'd you poke out your own eyes?
Thunder Senshi and Magitate Mag, shout out to them in the chat. Yay!
Yeah.
Zaxx, what am I missing? What can I?
You're missing a super chat that you put
Okay.
up, but you didn't read because all hell broke loose.
Okay, was it the Thunder Sensei one?
It sure was.
Okay.
Here it is.
Hail to you, Thunder Sensei 150. This is for $4.99. Says, too bad Purple Valkyrie isn't in Dallas this weekend. She could cosplay, has Marilyn Monroe, and get all the adoration at the Aiken Festival.
Oh.
There was a lot of wolf howls for Purple Valkyrie as Marilyn Monroe.
Akon, yes. Akon is very close. Very close. Very close.
Yeah, we
God.
announced it.
Shut
We
this
announced.
down before it gets worse.
We announced it earlier in the show, but I'm going to be going to Dallas, the Dallas Comic Book Convention. That, of course, is June 16th through the 19th. Purple Valkyrie is coming all the way from the UK to spend a week to hang out with a bunch of us YouTubers and meet a bunch of other people. She will also be at the Dallas Comic Book Convention. So I don't know, Jolly, are you going to be at that Dallas Con? I thought maybe you were. Hail to you, Thunder Sensei, by the way.
I should know that.
Well, this is new information. Do I need to rent a honeymoon suite for Purple and Fluff?
Well,
Yeah.
if he's going to be there, who knows what mischief we'll get up to.
Salty,
Yeah.
do they have the dragon shaped
Don't tease, Purple.
hot
Don't
tub
tease.
at the Hilton? Do
You
they
know,
have that?
I don't know what's going on in Dallas with the exotic shaped hot tubs, but we can certainly make some calls.
Yeah, make that happen.
Let's get these two lovebirds together, but we want to make sure that Puff is out of rehab, and by out of rehab, I mean doesn't mean he's thrown a chair through the window and escaped. You know what I mean?
Right. Again,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, mamma mia.
Yeah.
Dance cares
So
away.
so I'm gonna wind this show down because it's probably like 5 o'clock in the morning in the UK for the wonderful.
Wilson,
very
you're not allowed to
kind-
touch the humans. Put your finger
Yeah.
away.
Do you
Yeah.
sleep,
Jeez.
Purple?
I occasionally, yes, but this is far more fun.
But you said this show was Joe Biden approved.
Somebody said
Yes. Yes.
Good.
What?
Hey, Purple Valkyrie.
Yes.
No, don't you start sniffing her. You stop that, Gator. Stop it.
I've never been sniffed on a stream before. This is a new
Oh,
experience.
You didn't even ask. He just came right in, stuffed his nose in there. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I mean the Fan Expo. I'm sorry, Thunder Sensei. I've got like 7.
Just want to say
puppets
she
sticking out of
smells
my
like
shirt.
Purple Woman.
What was
Katie,
the bigger
you sweet
setup?
poker.
Amber Heard's pictures with Johnny Depp, or like that?
I don't know how or if I should thank any of you, besides my core show members, for coming
you're the
tonight, but
guy
I'm
that
going
got
to.
tied up,
I'm
thrown in a
I'm-
trunk, and
I mean,
here
Yeah,
you are.
I did. That was
bringing it
you.
back.
That was you. We're still going to talk about this. I'm getting money, or I'm going to get Amber Heard's attorney on your ass, and we're going to work this out one way or another.
Yeah, it didn't work too well for her.
Which
Well.
one though? I mean, Pendle's okay.
Well, that's because she wasn't
Wayne.
permitted at throwing cats at people yet.
I mean, I'm actually a wolf brother, you know.
It's true. Speaking of being a wolf brother, Punkwaddle, let's go ahead and start the saying goodbye right now in signing out. But Punkwaddle, where can people find you? What's going on in your channel? When are you going to be with these fabulous people? I cannot tell, and I mean this from the heart. It's really great to see you, Baphomet, Punkwaddle, Gator. It was jolly. It was wonderful to work with you. And
all lies.
yeah, and then Wilton, I guess, thanks for being here. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. But Punkwaddle, where can people find you? When are you guys going to be doing all this stuff again next?
Well, let's see. We did the protocol with Wilton and Floral tonight.
Great show.
That was not approved, by the way.
Well,
I will
you know-
I will watch it later. But yeah,
Well,
yeah. Let's,
There will be
And
fines. There will be fines.
Then we, if Snowdub doesn't fire us all for this, which I think he'll come around. Sometimes we'll show up on his channel on Cotton
He'll
Council.
probably set
and
me
all
on
that stuff.
fire.
Yep.
Well,
So,
you like that though, Gator.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
You can find me
And-
on Twitter.
I don't know.
All right.
So
Cool.
that's where I
Yeah,
hang
and
out.
you're also a great mod on my channel, and I really want to thank you for coming on with your penguin. I really am so happy you got that awesome. I think Floral made that penguin for you.
Yeah.
It's really
Yep.
fantastic.
Got my
And
shirt.
let's
Nice to meet you.
see. I got a member chat from Vic Rattleheadden. Hail to you, brother. Thanks for being around. He says, will you be going to the Grassy Knoll? Actually, that is one of the things that I really want to do is go to the Grassy Knoll in Daly Plaza. And I think Purple might want to go too, to see what the tragic site of JFK's assassination. So hail to you, Vic Rattleheadden.
Legend.
Lord Bathmat, other than going to Bed Bath & Beyond, where can people find you?
Baphomet. Baphomet. Say it with me,
Baphomet.
Texas. Baphomet. Baphomet.
I want to go to the spot where Lee Harvey Oswald took the shot.
You would, you strange person. All right, well,
Okay,
listen. I don't normally have a channel of my own. Usually, I'm too busy trying to wrangle in that moron T-shirted historian on his channel. But he's got a show on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. and he's got another one at 4 p.m. on Saturdays for I don't know why. They talk about inane things like Dungeons and Dragons and pop culture and all this sort of mamby-pamby garbage. Really, we should be talking about women because what else in life is there?
There's cookies and pizza and liquor.
Money. I really like money. Just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to drop the chat there. That Thunder Sensei, I know that you are very interested in this. I'm going to provide you the link to the Dallas Fan Expo. They have multiple packages. I've got tickets for all 3 days. Also, a bunch. You're going to see Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominic Montague, and oh Lord, what's the other guy's name? From the Fellowship of the Ring, Billy Boyd. All of the Hobbits will be there on Saturday for a special signing. You can also get pictures taken. There's going to be a ton of wrestlers.
Gina
Carano is there. A special. I think
You know why all those hobbits are there, right? Because they can't get any work now.
Well, yeah, probably, but I still think they're cool. But yeah, no,
Well,
Lord,
all I know is in August.
All I know is Ric
Lord,
Flair is going to be there, and you got to beat the man, be the man. Woo!
Woo! No, he's on the beat.
So you could do it.
No, I was thinking about it. I think it's
You have to
$80
woo.
for a picture with Ric Flair, so I might get a Ric Flair picture, but only if Jolly is with me. I would love to have.
I'm
that.
in. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. So, Lord Baphomet, thank you for coming. It's
You're
you
welcome.
guys are
You're welcome.
fantastic. And Gator, why don't you shout out your channel or what federal custody you are in, or whether or not?
Well, you know, it's all good.
Yeah.
I broke out of jail like 4 months ago.
Where can people?
Yes,
where
you can check
people
out.
find you?
You can check me and my inmate Freddie. He's a Yeti. He's gonna do a review on Top Gun as soon as we get to see it, and then we do some anime reviews. We're gonna do a commercial.
Mr. Slime, where's Mr. Slime? I haven't seen him. Is he
Mr.
okay?
Slime, no, he's a little oozy today. So the slime will come around when you really don't want them to.
That's what she said.
Usually
I'm
in the
okay
bathroom.
with I'm okay without.
Yeah,
that.
you would know all about that, bath mat.
Yeah.
Hey, the next
Great
time I see
slime that
that
comes
slime, I'm gonna see whether or not those self-absorbent tampons are gonna work on him.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Wilton, where can people find you? Wilton the troll. Where can people find you?
Yeah. I'm I don't even know anymore.
Is English? Do you speak it? Go ahead.
Working on it. All right. So you can find me on Floral from Under a Rock. I actually just did a on the street thing and load it. It's going to be on the actual. So we just did, but I'm going to set up as live. Yeah, no, it worked out really well. I think
they look awesome. You have some great ideas going over there. I mean, the other guy, not you, Floral.
Well,
I can take or leave you, but Floral's cool. So yeah.
Your mom said the same about you, and so no, and we actually we hit a milestone. We got 203 subscribers. So working on it, and
congratulations.
Congratulations,
working
Will.
out. Can you tell?
Mm.
So anyway,
Sure.
yeah, that's all I got.
You don't have to tell him.
Spaghetti for dinner.
You don't have to tell him.
Yeah.
So. Let's go to the one and only Jolly. Amazing. You do amazing work. You do God's work. Those Friday night shows, the Saturday night shows. Even though you kidnapped me, I had one hell of a good time with you.
He does Tuesday nights too.
Oh yeah, I watched Taco Tuesday. And can I just say again, I gave you a couple of supers last night, but congratulations, Snowdub and Jolly, on getting 1,500 subscribers.
Well done.
That's a milestone, I gotta admit. Sorry, I've been a little short with you guys tonight. I know the Muppets or puppets down here. They broke the contract. I'll deal with them later. But I'm still a little pained out because I forgot my medication today, and the Amber Heard injury here, which he chopped my hand off with a vodka bottle, it's just throbbing. So I've been a little moody. I apologize.
Oh, honey.
And that was just foreplay.
Yeah. It could be worse. You get married and should chop something else off on you, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
$7 million.
Charlie, what's that smell like?
Your mom.
I'm gonna go ahead and pivot to the humans now.
Always with my mom. What always with the mom?
I don't know. I like her.
It's like a car crash. You just can't stop watching it.
Well,
Great.
his mom's a towel, so I always dry myself off.
I know. I'm surprised that Gator didn't end up with like going home. Like, never mind. I'm not going to start that again. But
add an anti-fatigue mat.
Yeah.
No.
Gray.
Why are you picking on me, punk? I like you. I don't pick on you, do I?
Well, I just do
You
the
want me to
floss.
start?
You know when you grab a towel from the front and the back, and you do the floss.
Okay,
I just
guys.
left that on
Okay,
the
so
floor.
I'm gonna interject here. Okay, so I'm gonna make us do a little puppet moment and finish off the puppets, and then he can Salty can kick us out as we finish up. Okay, so
Okay.
so
Okay.
long,
I like that idea.
You're
farewell.
gonna
When you
finish
say
me off.
finish off the
and
You're
puppets,
not
what do you
allowed to
mean?
finish me there, Wilfred.
Good night. And then so Gator, say good night.
No.
I tried, Salty. I tried so hard for you to like.
I know. I wish you hadn't. I wish you hadn't, Wilton. But I
What
mean,
did he want me to
A+
say?
for efforts. I think he wants you to say like sing goodbye, like this is the sound of music or
Say
something. You know?
goodbye. Just say goodbye, Gator.
Oh,
Totally tuck and roll.
Wilton's got a beautiful singing voice as well.
I don't know why you said
You haven't heard
goodbye.
me
I
sing.
say hello. Hello.
Don't
hello.
encourage it, Purple.
All right. I'm gonna start bouncing puppets like they're basketballs. Don't take
Nobody
it
likes the
personally.
puppets?
Good idea.
I'm gonna go ahead and first
Start
of all,
with Charlie.
I'm gonna say goodnight to
I was
to
the original
Punkwaddle.
guest, not you.
Yeah, Punkwaddle,
Yeah, watch-
thank you.
watch
You're
Jackson
a
Comics
great
when I'm
mod.
not wanted.
You are a great content creator with your puppets. I look forward to never working with you on my show again, but I look forward to working with you on other people's shows. So you have a great one, Punkwaddle. Take it easy. Say see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye, Punkwaddle.
Bye.
All right,
Bye,
let's go ahead.
Punkwaddle.
Oh no!
Oh
Jesus
no!
Christ.
Wow.
Oh, see, now you got
I've
diversity.
changed my pronouns again.
It is June.
It is I, Gatorette.
That's it. I'm out of here.
I know.
Oh my God!
Poor
gonna be a
Purple,
long
she was the
month.
only
Shit,
woman
he's gonna
here.
bring Mr. Snow, isn't he?
The only woman here.
Mr. Poole.
I had to even up the odds.
Gator, I'm gonna put you next to Gray. Why don't you hit on Gray a little bit because that'll probably work out well. And
Hello.
Baphomet,
Hello,
Ooh,
baby.
How are
I
you
like it.
doing?
Oh,
It's a man
shit, no.
sleeping.
Oh my God!
Not
Hi,
him.
boys.
Oh.
I heard you guys were having a little Muppet
Don't
Oh
you
talk.
get
my
away.
God! I'm gonna
Worries
kill
for
you guys.
another
Oh
day.
my
Muppet
God!
Spawn, you didn't invite
Okay,
Mike
all right,
Roach.
okay. We can do
What's
this.
going
We can
on
do
here,
this.
Salty?
Mike Roach, don't get under me that way.
Oh, you know you like it.
Oh,
there,
look.
Bath. Mm.
Wow.
It's everyone's favorite community organizer, Mike Roach.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
You
Sound
rascal, it's been
Australian
too
now,
long.
mate.
Oh, I'm telling you, BJ Curve feels strong and ready
Yeah,
to go tonight.
let's make
Mhm.
Gray feel as uncomfortable as possible. Isn't Gray a handsome man? A handsome man, Mike? I mean,
Dodged a
look at
bullet.
Gray.
Oh, he's quite handsome. Call me.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Let's go ahead and Gator, it's really great to see you. I think your pronouns are I need medication. And if I got it wrong, I'm sorry. But
You need me.
really-
I need you. We should overdose on each other, darling.
Oh, yeah.
Like a reach around.
No, let's not. But Gator, it's really great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. I have laughed really hard tonight. I look forward to working with you guys again. I'm going to bounce you out, but Gator, it was great to see you. So I will see you guys later.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
See you later, Gator. Bye.
Magitech Mags, I'm your favorite goat, though, right? I'm your favorite goat. I know Punkwaddle's your favorite penguin, but I'm your favorite goat because there is no other goats. I am the only goat. I'm the goat. See, literally.
Lord Baphomet, thank you so much for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. You are a great content creator, and maybe you could teach that T-shirted historian a thing or two about how to make good content. So
I know. He's awful.
I'm going to bounce you out. Is there anything you want to say to anybody before we move on to throwing Wilton out the airlock?
Oh, Purple, is that invitation to be on your show still extended?
It is absolutely anytime.
Oh, I could hug you. Oh, come here. Bring it in here.
What is
So
going
sweet.
on? Is this a Me Too moment on my show? What's going on?
I want to thank you for this tonight, Salty. This has been an experience, I think is the best way to...
Yes, like electroshock therapy or falling down a flight of stairs. Yes, or being eaten by a shark. I agree. Lord Baphomet, have a good night. I'm going to bounce you out, and then I'm going to
Texas.
be
You
ejected.
take care.
See you
Take
later.
care.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Wilton, you and Floral are great content creators. Thanks for being here. You going to shout anything out before I hit the eject and throw you out the airlock?
I'm gonna say it actually generally wasn't my idea to do this, although I did think it was an epic troll, and so I just said yes.
This was an epic troll, and it was hysterical. And thank you for this laugh. You're a great content creator. Check out Wilton on Floral from Under a Rock. He is criminally undersubbed. One of many good puppet creators around here. So Wilton, I'm going to hit the eject button. See you later, brother.
See ya.
And that, of course, leaves my crotch, which is. What about my crotch? I don't know. Mike,
did you just say
sorry,
that?
I was overcome by horror for a moment. But, I come on horrors all the time.
I know you do, Mike. I know. Mike, is there anything you want to shout out before we go, or do you want to get Snowdub or Jolly on? No. Jolly's upset right now. He's over there smashing cabinets and glass bottles and pouring them up a mega pint. So he ain't very happy. Yes, but I did want to say thank you for having the puppets on and having some diversity. This was my honor. This is my honor, you guys. And seriously, the samurai guy from Japan down here. You make sure to hit me up in them DMs, okay? I'll hook you guys up. He's a good-looking fella. He's married, but maybe you could work your wiles on. I'm okay with that. We can make a Mac Rouch sandwich. I'll be the roast beef. All right, Mike. Don't forget to bring the mayonnaise. This has been great, but yeah, be sure to tell Jolly I said hey, and if you see Snow, say hey too. But thanks for coming. Hey, Salty says hey, Jolly. He's flipping you off. He put up his middle. I know he is. I know. We'll have to arm wrestle in the parking lot of Dallas. But thanks so much for coming on tonight. So, all right now. Yeah. All right. Take it easy, Mike. I'll see you later.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Bye, Mike. All right, let's get Purple Valkyrie to bed. Let's go ahead and start with Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse. First of all, you are one hell.
What?
Welcome to your first trial by fire with the Cotton Council.
Wow.
I think you did pretty well.
That was crazy, man. That was so much fun. My cheeks are hurting here. I'm hurting from laughing and smiling so much. Man, I know. That was cool.
The great people, great content creators on this platform. I am honored to get to work with them mostly. Gray, shout out your channel. Let's go ahead and we'll get out of here. Hopefully by the time we hit 3 hours. But where can people find you? What are you working on right now?
Okay, thanks a lot for having me on, Salty. It's been a blast as always. Great to see Purple, Zaxx as well, and the cast of Meet the Feebles, Fraggle Rock on LSD, as Nathan was saying. That was amazing, wasn't it? You can find me on Wakizashi's Teahouse.
Yeah,
I
too.
review comics, and I stream with Salty and Zaxx and Purple sometimes too, and have a great time. So yeah, thank you guys, and thanks for the chat. You have been amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was madness, wasn't it? A multiverse of madness.
It was something else.
Yeah, something else is right. Oh, let's go ahead and let's just go clockwise. Zaxx, where can people find you? When are you doing your next live stream? I love being on them, even though I just end up never getting to talk. But tell me when your next awesome live show is. And wait a minute, what about that video you did on RRR? How many? What was it at? 19,000 views.
21,000.
Zaxx had a video.
Wow.
Zaxx had a video that he put out and went viral, and it's now at 21,000 views.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. 3 days, 4 days. It's pretty proud of that. I mean, really, it was a panel, but I talked about RRR, which is a fantastic movie. I recommend everyone go check out. It's in theaters for 1 day today, I think, and then it's also on Netflix. So, and awesome. I've had some really good back and forth in my comments from people because I have a lot to learn about Indian cinema because it's not Bollywood, and honestly, like I've learned a lot, so I appreciate it. I have some more movies to review that have been recommended, and I'm hoping you're gonna help me with that. And my next live show, I'm glad you said you want to be on shows, Salty, because I'm going to plan to do one tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you did.
Ooh.
Everyone heard that.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I'm always there for a brother. You know that. I'm teasing. I would love to do that. I'm also going to be on Nerdporial's show on Friday too, and I think we might be on that one. So yeah.
And Purple as well. That'd be great. I'm looking at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
And if possible. And what I want to talk about is what's good. We talked about our sort of obscure things that we loved. I want to talk about what's good right now. What's the one thing you're doing right now besides the obvious?
I love that. I love that.
Yes. So it could be book, it could be movie, it could be anything you want. But what is it you're into that's current?
Let me back up to Gray real quick. I used to always do this when we had Max on, and I've skipped it a couple of weeks, but I think it's important. Gray, what is the one thing you're grateful for right now, or you have gratitude for, just off the top of your head? Could be anything.
My God, right now my health. Seriously, because I was knocked out a couple of days by really crazy allergies at the moment. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I'm good to be feeling good today, and that's because of you guys. I think the panel and the chat. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You do the same thing for us. What about you, Zaxx? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful right now that you guys have pulled me through a night where I've also been not feeling under the weather the last couple of days. You know about that. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to go on tonight. I didn't go on camera for that reason, but I'm feeling better. Like really after this,
Good.
like you guys really boosted me today. So I appreciate that.
I think it was the Reader's Digest that said laughter is the best medicine, or maybe it was Mark Twain, or I don't know. Sure the hell wasn't. Let's go, Brandon.
Yes, it wasn't. It wasn't Joe Biden.
Tovius again says, has Gray connected with the noob reviews? That's Megan. I have told Gray about Megan and the noob reviews. And Megan, if you ever watch this, and I don't doubt you'll ever talk to me again after that puppet thing, but you might want to work with Gray on Wakizashi's Teahouse. So
I haven't heard from her yet, but I'm totally open to. I'd love to have her on the channel or be on her. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead. Purple Valkyrie, you have been more than kind, and we're supposed to let you go almost an hour ago. So thank you for hanging out. I know how you are with this crew, the Cotton Council, and with Puff. I just want to say thanks for being on the show. You are such a trooper, and I can't wait to hang out in Dallas. I can't wait to hang out in Dallas.
It's going to be an incredible time. I'm so looking forward to it. But yes, have a blast tonight. A huge thank you to my regular co-hosts. You guys are amazing, but also to the Cotton Connection. They are all adorable, and I want to pick them all up and give them a squeeze.
Oh, wait. Even Gator? Even Gator?
Even Gator, yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to judge. Okay, well, that's the problem. I think he's had too many shots, if you know what I mean. Purple Valkyrie, what are you grateful for today? What's one thing that comes to mind?
I am grateful for all of you, for all these amazing friendships that you have, for our incredible chat. You guys have stuck with us throughout the insanity of tonight, and we are so grateful for you. But it's the connections that we made, and even a couple of weeks' time, we get to meet for the first time in person, and I'm so looking forward to that.
Me too. I want to thank everybody who came on tonight. Gray, thank you for taking one of your days off to come and hang out with us and to make this incredible work. I'm incredibly grateful to Purple Valkyrie for being a sounder board, for working with Zaxx and I to create Woo Woo Video as well as these live streams. I really want to thank Jolly for coming on the show, and Snowdub, fantastic creator. Also want to thank Lord Bathomat, Gator, as well as Punk Waddle. You guys are fantastic creators in this community, and I am lucky enough to get to work with you, and I have a great deal of gratitude for the chat tonight. You guys are the ones that have helped me build, get monetized. I'm now at over 2,400 subscribers thanks to you. Your comments, you're liking the video, you're reaching out to me on social media, you hazing and teasing me. It means a lot. And I'm very grateful to have these friends that I have in front of me, the lunatics that are backstage, and then that are doing puppets, but then also all the wonderful people in chat. So you all, thank you very much for being here. You guys, I really appreciate it. All right. Just under 3 hours. Purple Valkyrie is going to hit me with a stick when we're done, but I just want to say thanks, everybody. This has been a great show. I had a lot of fun. We hope you did too. And have a great rest of the week, everybody. We're going to sign you guys out.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone.
As ever, this is Salty Texas C. I am Corey DB. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. That way you know, and we have things like live streams, which we are going to be doing every Tuesday evening. Take care. I hope you're having a great 2022.